are going to be topping it up with a confirm. What's a confirm called in your local language? Yeah, and so that's all to expect from my side. Food, and how to make dawa jollof. In the trend store on Twitter, 18 plus 4 NDC is trending. National Cathedral is still trending. Anita is trending. Shatawale Nungwa is trending. Do you know why these are trending? Let us know on our WhatsApp number, which is 05555610334. And we are very, very active, and we're streaming live on Twitter as the GBC Ghana and Facebook as the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. Handing over to Senior Calf.
Thank you so much. Djokovic destroys Kyrgios in the Wimbledon final. Came from one set down to win. That and more in the sports at 7 o'clock with Maltiti Saida Sadiq, who, by the way, is ready for the 6 o'clock news right here on GTV Breakfast. Hashtag GTV Breakfast. Good morning. Welcome. Here comes the news.
See you again.
Hello, good morning. Welcome to GTV Breakfast News at 6 a.m. We are live in Studio 1 of the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation here in Kanda. I am Maltiti Saida Sadiq. This is the Eid edition of GTV Breakfast. The stories that are making headlines this morning. The Fisheries Minister has been petitioning against purported issuance of license to 2 new trawl vessels. Also, we'll bring you stories around the Rent and Housing Authority bill, where we take you to the foreign front. There's been an election in Japan, and also some 15 people have been killed in Soweto in South Africa. Let's start with agriculture and fisheries. And some partners in the fisheries sector have petitioned the Minister for Fisheries and Aquaculture Development about license granted to some industrial trawlers. Now, according to the aggrieved members, granting of additional license to the trawlers contravenes an approved draft of the Marine Fisheries Management Plan from 2022 to 2026, which proposes a 3-year moratorium for new trawlers.
The proposed moratorium for new trawlers is to check overfishing in the country's waters. Overfishing depletes the population of adult fish and also affects species, including small pelagic fish such as sardinella and chab mackerel, which are the lifeblood of coastal communities across the country. Partners in the sector are of the view that granting new licenses to foreign trawlers could erode efforts at checking illegal fishing practices. Some civil society organizations in the sector have therefore raised concerns about a letter in circulation detailing a request by some vessels that have been granted licenses for operation pending approval by the Fisheries Minister and the Ghana Maritime Authority. The organizations, including Environmental Justice Foundation, Creeth Development Organization, Friends of the Nation, Hen Mpoano Development Action Association, Canoe and Fishing Gear Owners Association, are asking the Minister for Fisheries and Aquaculture to exercise due diligence on ownership of the trawlers, flagging and previous license acquisition.
Now, the Dentra East Municipal Veterinary Services Directorate, in collaboration with the Environmental Health Department, have trained persons in the meat industry on the appropriate guidelines for meat preparation. This is to limit the outbreak of zoonotic diseases in the municipality.
Zoonotic diseases are caused by germs that spread between animals and humans. It is transmissible through direct contact or through food, water, or the environment. Health experts say appropriate guidelines for animal care help to reduce the potential for foodborne zoonotic disease outbreaks through foods such as meat, eggs, dairy, and some vegetables. Standards for clean drinking water and removal of waste are also said to be effective in curbing such diseases. The training is part of an education campaign by the Veterinary Services Directorate and the Environmental Health Department to promote hand washing after contact with animals and behavioral changes to curb the spread of diseases when they occur. Dr. Enoch Kobing is the Upper Dentra East Municipal Veterinary Officer.
Starting with kebab sellers. The organization na the church ya kwanya umbefa so aye umadwuma a umankasa umunya yare na omunso fire enkonkoma obi a innocent person all babeto.
He urged partners in the industry to collaborate effectively to ensure strict adherence to regulations on meat safety. The Padintra East Municipal Chief Executive, Mr. Ebenezer Apia-Forson, said it is the responsibility of the Assembly to protect the people and ensure consumption of wholesome meat in the municipality.
As Assembly, I will say it will ebo yema for mobile. The crime back will be a first one mobile and say and no more motor mountains or medical say na papa as the children before a certified will say and now we now at the home and for how we are.
Let's look at the Strengthening Family Conference 2022, where participants at the two-day Strengthening Families Conference called for a collaborative effort to make the family a safe place for all. Now, the conference, which was on the theme, Strengthening the Rising Generation, is aimed at strengthening the family as the fundamental unit and foundation of a society built on unity, strong morals and values.
And important social institutions in the world. Its structure can either be a small family size or a much broader family size. However, its primary role for socialization and social control of its members is gradually being shirked due to the exigencies of modern times. Family members are now hardly available to influence the values of its younger ones, hence the eventual breakdown of societal values. The two-day Strengthen Families Conference 2022, which was organized by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints with its partner agencies, was attended by hundreds of adherents of all faiths within the West Africa sub-region. Former Vice President of the Gambia, Dr. Issa Tuture, said the conference offered the platform for the sharing of ideas and experiences to redirect attention to the primary role of the family for an overall national cohesion. The second Vice President of the National Assembly of Benin, Mr. Dakwe Sosu, asked parents and guardians to offer purpose and hope to the younger generation in the midst of real and perceived immorality and corruption. He also tasked them to teach the children to learn and appreciate sacrifice, hard work, respect for all manner of people, but be strong-willed and have strong convictions. The next edition of the conference, dubbed Strengthening Marriages, will take place in Abuja, Nigeria next year.
Let's go to Kumasi, where partners in the housing sector have met at a forum in Kumasi to brainstorm on the draft rent bill and Ghana Housing Authority bill. Now, the Minister for Works and Housing, Mr. Francis Asenso-Boakye, called for a review of the existing Rent Act 220 to address the housing deficit in the country.
Currently has a housing deficit of 1.8 million. Disparities in terms of tenancy agreement by landlords necessitate a proposal for an amendment to the Rent Act passed in 1963. The reforms include a monthly rent payment as opposed to the 6-month rent advance payment detailed under the current law. The Department of Rent Control would also be mandated to ensure standard rent charges to prevent landlords from exploiting desperate tenants. Officers from the department will also be dispatched to educate landlords and tenants on their rights and responsibilities. The seminar on the draft rent bill and Ghana Housing Authority Bill 2022 was organized in Kumasi by the Faculty of Law at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology in conjunction with the Ministry of Works and Housing. The Vice-Chancellor of the KNUST, Professor Richard Dixon, indicated that government has shown commitment to work with key partners to implement a national housing policy.
The increasing housing delivery deficit in Ghana is due to the high population growth rate, urbanization, and inadequate supply of housing units to meet the growing demand. To say that this is an event of national interest is indeed an understatement.
The Minister for Works and Housing,
Mr. Francis Asenso Boache explained the need for a review of the Rent Act.
The new act is intended to safeguard the rights of vulnerable tenants who have been outpriced by the uncontrollable highs in the cost of rental accommodation in the country. The government is in the process of establishing a national rental assistance scheme. The establishment of this scheme, Madam Chairperson, is meant to address the short to medium-term market failures in the rental segment of the housing market. This will be done in partnership with the private sector to provide low-interest loans to eligible Ghanaians to enable them pay rent advance.
Let's still stay in the Ashanti region, but in health, where construction work on the Kumewu Government Hospital at the Setri Kumewu district of Ashanti region, which was abandoned some years ago, has resumed. Now, this follows negotiations between the Ministry of Health and the contractor executing the project over variations in the original contract sum. Due to delay of work, civil works, according to the contractor, are expected to be completed by the end of the year, followed by installation of equipment and officially handed over by the middle of next year.
The Kumewu District Hospital was initiated about 10 years ago and expected to have been completed. However, work was suspended due to lack of funds and other administrative issues. The Ministry of Health intervened and sourced for funds for the contractor to return to site 5 months ago. The Ashanti Regional Minister, Mr. Simon Osei-Mensah, toured the project site as part of a routine inspection tour of the district. The project engineer, Mr. Ujo Cephas, gave the assurance that the project will be completed on schedule.
Currently, we are done with the major plastering of the works at the blocks. The block works, plastering, dressings, and we are almost done. So when you go to the down there, we have the residents over there, whereby the nurses and then the doctors will be lodging. So that place, we are done with the block works, and we are waiting for the roofing. Whereby recently the roofers came to take measurement on it, and latest by tomorrow or Monday they will start the roofing. So, and then when we look at this place too, we have the launch whereby we'll be planting the grass, the trees, the flowers, and other stuff. That place is also set now. And then the walls too, we have a place that we've constructed some huts and then some playing grounds over there too. You know, we finish it takes a lot of time. So we are looking at maybe January, February, we should be able to finish, because some of the machines will be imported, test, trained before we hand over fully.
I'm impressed with the work that they've done, the quality and the rate at which they are moving. I'm highly impressed with it. They have also promised that by the end of December this year, they will be done with the civil work or the structural work. And then they will need about 4 months for the installation of equipment, and then we'll move on to training of the staff. And we hope by the end of December next year, definitely that hospital will be operational.
The Ashanti Regional Minister, Mr. Simon Osei-Mensah, earlier inspected work on a storm drain, a technical institute, and a police station at Bodomase near Kumewu, where he interacted with the chief, Bafuata Cheneboa, at his palace. The chief complained about poor sanitation and deplorable roads in the town. Mr. Osei-Mensah assured the chiefs and people of the area that work on the Dwaben-Efiduase Kumewu Highway will soon resume after negotiations with the contractor who has left the site. The minister also inspected the Kumewu National Health Insurance Offices, which is about 90% complete. He later inaugurated an ambulance bay.
Let's go to the north in Tamale, where Brigadier General Matthew Asian has taken over as the General Officer commanding the Northern Command, headquartered in Tamale in the Northern region. Now, he's the 5th General Officer commanding the Northern Command since its establishment in 2014. At a handing over ceremony in Tamale, the outgoing commanding officer, Brigadier General Mohammed Moses Ai, lauded staff of the command for their support in promoting the peace and stability of Northern Ghana.
The Northern Command was promulgated in September 2014 but started work in November 2016 with the handing over of the 6BN and Air Force and the Airborne Force. The command has defense responsibilities for the 5 regions up north. The command has over the years worked to ensure the peace and stability of northern Ghana. It has been training and sharpening the skills of officers against the threat of violent extremism, which is expanding southwards from the Sahel region. Addressing the Durbar organized in honor of the outgoing General Officer commanding the Northern Command, Brigadier General Mohammed Moses Ayi commended the officers for their support and urged them to accord the incoming leader similar support.
During my tenure of command, Northern Command saw an expansion with the creation and deployment of 10 and 11 mechanized battalions to take care of the 2 upper regions. The 2 units continue to see steady increase in manpower to bring them up to their established levels. I have also been fortunate to see the establishment and deployment of 155 Armored Regiment in the AOR. I must commend all the commanding officers of these units, together with the commanding officers of 6th Battalion and 69 Airborne Special Forces, for their dedication and resilience.
The new General Officer commanding the Northern Command, Brigadier General Matthew Essien, emphasized that the command will continue with its counter-terrorism efforts.
Our focus is still going to be on terrorism in the north, which is #1 priority, but we shouldn't lose sight of the fact that we have other internal threats too, because if you don't resolve the internal threats, it gives way for people coming from outside to also come in.
Brigadier General Matthew Essien joined the Ghana Military Academy in 1987. After completing a 12-month training at the Royal Military Academy in the United Kingdom, he was commissioned into the 1st Signal Regiment as a troop commander. Brigadier General Matthew Essien has held several command and staff appointments prior to taking over as the General Officer commanding the Northern Command. These include Acting and Deputy Director of Communications, Director of Operations and Training, Deputy Director General and Director General at the Defense Communications and Information Systems. He further served as the Deputy Commanding Officer of the Ghana Battalion 5 in the Democratic Republic of Congo, as well as the Commanding Officer of the Ghana Battalion 7 in Liberia.
Away from the north, let's come back to the capital, where the Okaikwe North Municipal Assembly, in collaboration with the Greater Accra Resilience and Integrated Development Project, GARID, have organized a cleanup exercise at Agboglushi in Accra. The exercise is to sensitize residents on the importance of keeping the community clean and also complement efforts made by city authorities to reduce indiscriminate dumping of refuse in the capital.
Residents of Alogboshi were mobilized to undertake the cleanup exercise organized by the Okaikwe North Municipal Assembly. The assemblyman, Mr. Leroy Chamusa, said the rationale behind the initiative is to put an end to open defecation, indiscriminate dumping of refuse, and also to control flooding whenever it rains. The solid waste management expert on GARID project, Madam Herinta Osetutu, said they are working to clean communities along the Odo River and also educate residents on the importance of keeping the environment.
We are doing this cleanup exercise to sensitize the community members on the need to improve the cleanliness in their surroundings.
The assemblyman advised the general public to clean their surroundings in order to prevent flooding, especially in low-lying areas.
Let's move to the international front, where at least 15 people have been shot dead in a bar in South African township of Soweto. Police say gunmen entered the Orlando East Tavern in the early hours of Sunday morning and started firing randomly at a group of young people. They then fled the scene in a white minibus. No motive for the attack has been established.
Several more people are in a critical condition in hospital. The victims are believed to be between 19 and 35 years old. A press statement released by the police said the gunmen had been armed with rifles and 9mm pistols when they entered the bar. Police are searching for the suspects whose identities remain unknown. Police said 4 other people were killed in a separate tavern shooting in the southeastern province of KwaZulu-Natal. Shootings are not uncommon in South Africa. They are often linked to gangs or alcohol. But this is an exceptionally high death toll and comes soon after the death of 21 teenagers thought to have been either gassed or poisoned at another bar in the city of East London.
Let's go to Japan, where Japan's ruling coalition is projected to keep its majority in the upper house of parliament in an election held in the shadow of the assassination of former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. Prime Minister Fumio Kishida's Liberal Democratic Party, of which Mr. Abe was a senior figure, and his junior coalition partner Kumeito were on track to win between 69 and 83 seats out of the 125 contested in Sunday's vote.
There was an increased police presence when Mr. Kishida appeared at a campaign event in a city southwest of Tokyo, and a metal detection scanner was installed at the venue, an unusual security measure in Japan. Prime Minister Fumio Kishida and other politicians have insisted the shock killing would not halt the democratic process. Elections for seats in the parliament's less powerful upper house are typically seen as a referendum on the sitting government, and the latest opinion polls already pointed to a strong showing for the ruling bloc led by Mr. Kishida. Political analysts said both the LDP and its junior coalition partner, Kumeto, could gain from a potential wave of sympathy votes. Polls opened at 7 a.m. on Sunday and will close at 8 p.m. 15.3% of voters had cast absentee ballots in advance. A strong showing at the polls could help Mr. Kishida consolidate his rule, giving him a chance to carry out his goal of boosting defense spending. It might also allow him to revise Japan's pacifist constitution.
And it's time for us to get our weather update. It's a holiday. I'm sure people want to go out and enjoy themselves and make merry and want to know how the weather will look like. Good morning, Felicity.
Good morning, Multiti.
Thank you for joining us as usual. I hope your holiday is going well.
Yes, it's going well. I hope yours too.
Well, yes, we ate a lot of meat too. But how is the weather looking like for us today?
Yes, but today the weather is looking pretty cool. It's a bit cloudy over the coast and parts of the inland areas, those around Ashanti, in a part of Volta region. Later, the sun will break through, and then we're expecting some rain and thundercloud formations over some areas within the Volta region, eastern Ashanti, and then parts of the northern sector. Those of us over the Greater Accra, the capital, we are not expecting much activities. If anything, it will just be slight rain or drizzle. Likewise, those over Takrady, Cape Coast, South Pond, and its environs. Temperatures for today is expected to go as high as 30 for the coast, and then those over Axim, Takrady will record 29. Those in Kumasi also have 31 for today. The north, we are expecting 33 over Wa, and then its environs. The state of the sea is also expected to remain rough, but then we are not having any thunder or rain clouds, massive of them over the sea. So they still have to be cautious. The Volta Lake to this morning is cool until that's 2-3 p.m. when we are expecting the localized rainstorm formation. So the fisher folks over the Volta Lake, if they want to go out for fishing in the afternoon to the evening, they still have to contact the forecaster on duty at Met Office and then confirm if there is any storm that is likely to form over their area or is forming, so they can make an informed decision. The numbers are still the same: 0302 777 172. So for today, this is how we're expecting the sky to be over us.
Thank you so much, Felicity Ahafenyo, for a rundown of how our holiday will look like today, Monday. She did say that it will be cloudy around the Ashanti and the coast areas. Slight rains expected also in eastern Volta region. If you're traveling, get to know the weather. It's on Facebook at the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, where we are streaming live so that you'll be able to plan your day, your travel, and your merrymaking. But that's it for GTV Breakfast News at 6 a.m. with me, Maltiti Saida Sadek. The show is packed. You don't want to go anywhere. Up next, if you're having blood pressure issues, you want to stay and watch, because dawa has been proving to be a food or a meal when prepared that lowers blood level or high blood pressure. So you'd want to know we're cooking dawa in the studio today. Also, we'll be doing Islam and fashion since it's the Eid edition of GTV Breakfast. Stay with us.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Farawara sunan Allah. Yeah.
Hi. Welcome. And so it's the holiday edition of the breakfast show, and we are starting off by learning how to make dawa jollof and tubani. And guess who's in the BFS kitchen to help us do that? I have Rabiatu Abdullahi Akamim, and she is the CEO of dawa Jollof Delight, and it's in Adenta. Have you been there? Hi, Rabiatu. Welcome. Hi, okay, so the studio smells divine already. And so if our camera will pan to the ingredients, we are going to have a conversation with Rabiatu. She's going to tell us what goes into the making of dawa jollof, how we'll make dawa jollof, and tubani. I don't know what tubani is. This is the first time I'm hearing tubani. Rabiatu, what is tubani?
Okay, so tubani is bean cake. So it's bean that is made into pattern.
As in beans?
It's beans, yes, and then steamed in leaves.
So it's just beans cake?
Yes. So usually we would have used the wache leaves, but I couldn't get some, so a replacement is this.
The plantain leaves?
Yes, it can also be used.
Okay.
And the leaves gives it that taste that normal rubber or the others won't give. So that's the reason we prefer to wrap it in leaves.
The tubani.
Yes.
I can't wait to taste it.
You know, vegans recently have added it as one of their diets as well.
Nice.
Because it's plant-based. It's a plant-based.
Okay, it's plant-based.
Yes,
So,
plant-based.
right. Okay, so walk us through the ingredients. Which one are you going to make for us first? Dawa jollof or tubani?
We are going to make dawa jollof
first.
Okay.
Righty. Okay, so we are going to zero in on the ingredients. What's this, Rabiatu? What's this?
This powder for tubani, that's beans that have been grinded.
Okay, so this is just beans?
Yes, beans powder.
Okay, and so you have for tubani, is it this particular beans?
Beans, yes. No, you can use any kind of beans, but this is the beans I have available.
Okay, so
this is what I blended yesterday.
Okay, so this is blended beans.
Yeah.
Okay, dokes. And this is
almighty dawa.
Famous dawa. Okay, and so that's the main ingredient.
Yes,
is it easy to get? Where can we get it in Accra?
For Accra, I think you can get some at Medina in the Nima market, but usually because I'm from Bolga, my mother, like whenever I run out of stock, I just tell her.
She brings it, so it's fresh. But yes, here in Accra, you can get it at the Nima
market or Medina market. And I think there are some people also who sell it on Facebook now.
Okay.
Some have grinded it into powder.
Dawa powder.
Yes, but usually customers want to see the beans in it. Is the reason I have it in the beans form.
Okay. So this is in its raw state.
Yes,
not the powder form. Yes. Okay. Right. And how do we keep it? How do you store this?
You can just dry it out in the sun. When it's very dry, you can keep it for so many months.
But this isn't too dry.
Yes, because it's just fresh from the
milk. Okay.
So it's still very
right. And this is blended
tomatoes, boiled and blended.
Why do you boil it?
Okay, so I don't know, for preservation purposes, because sometimes I don't put it in the freezer.
Okay.
So I just boil it and then I keep it, then I fetch from there.
Okay, so you boil it. If you want to keep it in the freezer, it's advisable to boil it first.
Yes.
Why?
I can't really tell. Maybe just for preservation purposes,
okay.
Yes.
Okay, so this is blended tomatoes.
Tomatoes, yes.
Right.
And this is tomatoes paste.
Okay.
Tomato paste.
Okay, and so that's puree.
Yes.
Right.
And this is ginger, garlic, pepper, and then onions.
This is a mixture of ginger, garlic, pepper, and onions.
And this is Keita schoolboys pounded.
Pounded Keita schoolboys.
Yes.
All this is going to go into the
jollof, yes, wow. Because we'll not be using any meat.
Right. Okay. And this is salt.
Salt, and this is powdered pepper for our tubani.
Okay. Powdered pepper for the tubani.
And this is shea butter, edible.
This is raw shea
butter. Edible. Yeah, you can eat it.
So you're going to use this for the
Yes, that's the base.
Okay. How safe is this?
Very safe. 100% safe.
Okay, but how do we get it in its raw form like this?
Oh, it's been sold in the market. I think on Facebook. I know of Roots Organics also.
Right.
Roots Organics. Recently, she even had the FDA approval that her shea butter is very safe.
Okay, so Roots, this is a small advert for you. But then this can also be used on
yes, you can use it as
okay, so whilst you are cooking, if you have excess, you just rub it on your hands and there you go, all moisturized.
And this is red tuna, not the salted one.
Not the salted.
Okay. And then this is amani. that we can break into herrings. We can break into pieces since we'll not be using any meat.
Okay.
And this is our tomatoes and onions. Usually, I like to see chunks in the dawa jollof, not just the puree alone.
Okay.
So because of that, I always cut chunks into it.
Okay, to give it texture.
Yes.
Then.
And this is our local brown rice, sorted.
Local brown rice.
Yes, without the stones. It's sorted already.
Okay. And so we are all set.
We are all set.
Dawa jollof.
Dawa jollof, yes. Okay, these are the ingredients for dawa jollof.
Alrighty, and so we begin. Guys, welcome to the BFS studio. This is our kitchen, makeshift kitchen, a special Eid al-Adha holiday edition one, and we are preparing dawa jollof by Rabiatu Abdullahi, and she is the CEO of Dawa Jollof Delight, and she can be found in Adenta. So she's just run us through the ingredients she's going to be using for Dawa Jollof and the Tubani, and so she's beginning now. So we can stay here.
She tested it before.
Okie dokes. Don't worry, it happens in the kitchen.
You should test it before.
Okay, while we get where we are lighting the fire, remember to catch us on Facebook. If you don't know how to make dawa jollof, today's the day you learn how to make dawa jollof. We're on Facebook as the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. We're streaming live on there. We're on Twitter. We're streaming live as well on Twitter as the GBC Ghana. We're learning how to make dawa jollof and Tubani. Rabiatu is in studio with us. We'll be right back.
I'm 7 years old. Beep, beep, beep.
I am 4 years old.
We are 12 years old.
It's been 1 year since I started my antiretroviral treatment.
You can live a long, productive life with antiretroviral treatment. With antiretroviral treatment, HIV-positive expectant mothers can have healthy HIV-negative babies. Go to the nearest health center, test and know your HIV status. If you are positive, ask about antiretroviral treatment and you will receive help. Antiretroviral treatment is your only option for a long and fulfilling life.
This advert is brought to you by the Ghana AIDS Commission and Ghana Health Service.
I'm a nurse. I'm paying the e-levy because by doing so, I am supporting the government to provide quality healthcare for everyone. Let's all support the e-levy and together we can do great things.
This ad is powered by the government of Ghana, Ghana Revenue Authority, and the people of Ghana.
Welcome back, and so welcome back to the BFS Kitchen, and Rabiatu is in studio with us. She's teaching us how to make dawa jollof and Tubani, and so she begins. So this is the share you're about to start.
Base it.
Okay.
Base it first.
Can you use any other cooking oil, vegetable oil?
Yes, you can, but it might not give you the smell and taste you want. Okay. Because you want everything local.
Okay, so ideally this is best.
Yes, this is best. And even though I'm cooking for sale, I don't compromise when it comes to quality.
That's nice. That's nice to hear. Okay,
this.
so if you're buying, say, this bowl worth of share in the market, how much would it cost?
I can't really tell because usually I buy in large quantities because I cook for commercial.
Okay.
Yes, so I don't buy in smaller quantities.
Okay, so if you're making dawa jollof for a party of, say, 30, how would people reach you? Are you on social media?
Yes, you can reach me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Dawa Jollof Delight.
That's it.
Dawa
That's
Jollof
it. Simple
Delight.
as that.
Yes.
Righty. And so, how much would it cost to make? How much would it cost to prepare dawa jollof for 5 people?
For 5 people,
how much would it cost for a family of 5?
I have the family pack, which I charge between 120 to 140.
Okay.
Depending on the number of proteins you want. So first of all, we put our dawa inside. So that's just like you use more money when you are doing the others. You put dawa so that it takes all the smell.
Okay.
Can I please have some water?
Yes, definitely. Coming up.
I want to cut some onions.
Right. Coming up. The breakfast show is proudly sponsored by Awake Purified Water. Buy a bottle of Awake Purified Water today, and the money is going to the Cardiothoracic Center to pay for the medical bills of vulnerable people who cannot afford medical care. And so you're about to slice the onions into the dawa and the share mixture now.
You can already smell it.
I can.
So we add our...
So this is the mixture?
Yes.
Ginger, onion,
pepper and garlic.
Right, and it goes in there. So this you're making is for... How many people would this serve?
Maybe it can 3 or 4 people.
3 or 4 people? Hey, but we are not in this studio. We are not, and it's a holiday.
I've got you all covered.
Thank you, you got us.
May I please have the tomato puree? Yes.
Okay, so in goes the puree.
Let's go.
Do you know that sometimes when we are cooking, in other cooking shows and some episodes I've seen, usually people mix the puree with water before putting it into the... Would you advise that professionally?
I've never seen that and I can't tell, but from what my mother taught me, you just use only the puree. You don't mix it with water.
Right.
Maybe they do that because of...
This place smells lovely. You guys.
Okay, so I will let it simmer for a bit.
Right.
Before I add my
So it's just the puree, the onion and the pepper mixture that's in there now.
Yes.
You're not going to put
I will add it, but I want this to simmer a bit.
Okay. Guys, this is how to make authentic Dawa Jollof. Rabiatu is at Adenta. You can find her at Dawa Jollof Delight is in Adenta. Or you can alternatively go onto social media. She's on Facebook, she's on Instagram as Dawa Jollof Delight, and then you can order. Or what other foods do you make? Is it just Dawa?
No, I do tuzafi.
Nice.
I do, especially, I concentrate more on millets. From whatever I always do, I look at the health. And my dad had BP for a very long time.
Okay.
So most of our meals, my mother prepared were health-based.
Right.
So I do millet desserts.
Millet desserts?
Yes, millet dessert is good for people who are diabetic, who are hypertensive. Yes, and then I do beto.
What's that?
Beto soup, kenaf, mixed with alive food and fresh granuts. It's also very good for people with high blood pressure because it's not Maggi based, it's not oil based, it's just plant based, that's all.
Yeah, because I haven't seen any spice here.
Yes.
Nothing. Everything here is organic.
Nice. Kindly let me have the tomatoes. So, okay. So it's ready now. It's in there. Can I have some water?
More water? Yes. More water, please.
Just this.
I love the smell in the studio. It's divine. It's divine. Okay. And that mixture too. So this is a mixture of peppers.
Yes, bell peppers.
Bell peppers, right?
Both red and then green. Yes. Whilst this is simmering,
righty,
I'll be cutting the tomatoes that I want in chunks.
Okay, this is because of the texture.
Yes, okay. Because everything is too smooth, so.
Okay.
And from where I'm from, when they eat, they want the rough edges there, so they want to feel the roughness.
Okay, where are you from though?
I'm from Borga.
Wow. What is the one thing about Boga that you miss? When you're here in Accra, what do you miss?
My family.
Oh, they're watching you now, I believe.
I'm sure they are, if they are awake.
Right. I'm sure your mom should be really proud of you because most of the stuff you're saying, you say your mom taught you, your mom taught you.
Exactly. Though growing up, when she asked me to come and cook, I used to be very angry because I want to watch TV, I want to read books, I want to play. But funny enough, today I'm making money off the skill she has taught me.
You see, you see. So this is just from mommy's teaching. You didn't go to school professionally to learn.
Not at all.
Wow.
Because when my dad was diagnosed with BP and he came home, my mom had to like switch off his diet and everything.
Okay.
So everything changed for us. Yes. Then a few times later, then he was diagnosed with diabetes as well.
Oh wow.
So then
everything changed.
Everything changed.
Okay. So you're gonna add more onions?
Yes, I'm gonna. Yes, usually I would have blended the onions, but blended onions I heard when it stands for long or stays for long, it becomes poisonous.
Blended onions.
Yes.
Is this a proven fact?
I can't tell, but that's what my mother always says. So she doesn't allow you to store onions overnight.
This is from Rabia too. This is from her mom. He says that when you blend, you can't blend onions and keep it overnight. It makes it poisonous.
Yes.
So facts. Are we going to prove that? Fastest fingers. I'm sure T is going to be checking it. T is going to be checking that on us. So that we'll see if that's a fact.
So because of that, she doesn't allow us blend onions overnight.
Okay.
So you leave it and the next day you cut. So that's the reason I'm
Can I open this?
Yes,
so
you
that
can. You can.
Our viewers can see how our sauce is simmering nicely. And it smells divine, guys. I apologize in advance for those of you who can't taste it. Nice. Can I cover it now?
Yes. Can I have a bit of salt?
Definitely. Okay. Salt. Pardon my lip, please. So, for people who are managing blood pressure, whether low or high, this is an ideal go-to meal.
Yes,
when it comes to the health benefits, no?
Yes, especially dawa.
Can I cover it now?
Yes, you can. Whilst you are doing that, I'll be putting this in water so that to soften it for me.
So the herrings are going in water?
Water, yes, so that it will be soft by the time I'm ready to put it inside.
Is it okay?
Yes. No, just add a bit. Okay, thank you. It's okay. So by the time I'm going to use it, it would have softened for me.
Okay.
Usually what you can also do is that you can wash the herrings like 3 times. And after the 3rd wash, you can put them in the water for a while. Okay. And then you take them out. So that water, you can use it, boil it, and then use it for the jollof as well. But after washing it thoroughly.
After washing it, you can use this water.
So yes, but not this first water, yes.
And you've washed it, you
thoroughly,
can use it.
Yes.
So it gives it extra flavor.
It makes it very nice.
I believe the way the thing is smelling, I can't wait for it to be finished. Okay, so that's to soften it.
Yes.
Okay.
More water. I just want to wash the fish.
Remember to buy a bottle of Awake purified water today when you're out.
I wish we had enough water to wash the rice, because it's always good to wash your rice, you know.
Definitely.
Because you don't know what's...
I'll get someone to wash it.
Okay, don't use all. Maybe divide it into 2.
Into 2?
Yes.
Wash it. Okay, dogs. I'll leave the kitchen. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry.
So I've just added the tuna to it.
Okay, thanks.
So whilst it's simmering, let our conversation go on.
Okay, so for those who are very, very impatient and they can't wait for the food to be done, when you when you're cooking and it's up to this level, when it simmers a bit, can you take a little of it and say eat it with gankenke? Is that?
Yes, you can, because it's stew.
So you can eat it with rice and maybe yam. And what would you advise to accompany it if you're just eating it as dawa dawa stew?
You can eat it with yam, you can eat it with rice, you know, people and their preferences. You can't tell someone what to
eat it with your cake.
Yes,
fine.
I'm sure you're a fan of cake.
Not just me, and no more people in the studio. Okay, so we're waiting for it to simmer.
Yes.
Right. At what point will this go in?
Okay, so we'll put small dawa in after.
We'll put more dawa.
Yes, after we put this fish in.
Okay.
Then we'll put a little bit of dawa before we pour this in.
Right.
Then we put our rice.
Okay. Yes. But Rabiatu, if I want to make this at home, how much would you advise I take to the market to get all these ingredients?
Okay, so from what I know about dawa, you know, in the north, the economic condition there isn't very good as compared to the south.
Right.
So when you have a visitor, you can't serve any meat. You serve the visitor dawa. Dawa is protein as well. Yes.
Okay.
So in the north, when you are cooking with dawa, you don't necessarily have to add meat. But I don't know for the south how you do it. But this all, if you have rice and everything, it shouldn't cost you more than 20 cedis.
It shouldn't cost you more than 20 cedis to make dada jollof?
Shouldn't cost you, because shea butter, you can get shea butter like 1 cedi or 2 cedis.
You can get shea for
1 cedi or 2 cedi in the market, yes.
Okay, guys, so if you're looking to make a meal of dada jollof, you can actually use 20 cedis.
Yeah,
and you can have a healthy meal,
healthy,
sumptuous meal for you.
Because you don't need much to cook dawa jollof. Tomatoes, onions, pepper, amani, and you are done.
You're good. Nice. Okay, so now our herrings are softened.
Yes.
Okay, so you're going to put it in there.
Yes, I'm breaking them and then putting them there. Nice. So those who will be eating can get the chance. You can't wait, huh?
I can't. So, yeah, was the holiday a busy one for you on Saturday? Was it a busy one for you? Do you have lots of orders?
Yeah, I don't cook during the holidays because I'm a Muslim.
You don't cook?
Yes, because of Eid al-Adha. I didn't cook.
Oh.
Yes.
So your customers lost. But, okay, so what did you do? What did you do for...
I spent the day with my husband and the family.
Oh. What did you guys have? Did you make dada?
No,
having you in the house, there's always, I'm sure there's always an abundance of dada.
I'm always cooking. All the time.
Can you come to my house for maybe 1 week? Just come and relax in my house for 1 week.
This one, you have to ask my husband for permission.
Mr. Akamim, maybe if you are watching
Akamim is actually my dad. He is late. He died last November.
Oh, may he so rest in peace. So, Alaji, if you are watching us, please permit Madam to come. Just 1 week.
I'm sure when I'm going, he will pick his bag and follow me.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so you have to take the skin off it too.
Yes, sometimes the skin has some impurities inside. So I just take off the skins and the bones.
And all the bones.
Yes. So that's when people are eating, something doesn't choke them. Safety. Okay.
So we are done with putting the herring. Oh my goodness, this place smells yummy. There's lots of texture going on in the colors as well. Nice. Our rice should be coming in
very soon.
Yeah.
We can put
more dawa in
there. Maybe just like this.
So this is like 4 people. Assuming everybody here likes food. This is for like 4 people.
Just like 4 people. This should satisfy 4 people.
So we've used 1.5 bowl.
Yes, of dawa.
Right.
Good.
In goes this.
It's okay.
Right.
Funny enough, when I'm cooking, I can't taste. So I know my measurements, so I don't taste.
A lot of professional cooks don't taste when they are cooking here because maybe they are used to their measurements.
No, but if I taste it, do me like there's no salt, add small, there's no salt, add small, then before I relax. the salt is over.
So how long have you been cooking professionally? How long have you been cooking?
2 years.
2 years?
Yes, professionally. But before then, I just used to cook for my friends. They come around and then they eat.
What made you want to start doing it professionally?
Okay, so it's my friends who pushed me. They were like, you are good. Why don't you commercialize it? So I was like, okay, I'll give it a try. It wasn't easy from the beginning, but small, we are getting there.
2 years down the line.
Yes.
So your friends pushed you well. Get friends like Rabiatu's friends, okay? Get friends like Rabiatu's friends. Friends who push you to do business. Okay, so are we going to begin the prepping of the tubani?
Oh, yeah, we can. We can. Okay.
So that, wait. This is vegetable oil.
Yes.
What is this?
Potash, salt, petra. We use cow, or what they call it, potash.
Kawe.
Yes, so we are going to use this for that.
Okay. So what, did you blend it?
No, what I do is that I pound it, then I put it in water. So because it's sand, I don't always want the sand to follow, so I just put it down for a bit, then I'll be using the water. Yes, that's what I've been doing.
So what would this do?
Okay, so
you know, for tubani, or?
Yes, you know, with beans, sometimes when you're cooking beans, you have to put. If I don't put it there, you gas up.
Okay, so this is to stop you from gassing when you eat beans. But then I hear that to stop all the gases from running around in your stomach, it's best to put the beans in water for a couple of hours before you cook. Is that
okay?
true?
With tubani, you can't put the beans in water.
Because you need it dry.
Yeah, you need it dry. So you just have to blend it, and then no matter what you do, you have to use the potash.
Righties, okay.
Okay, so our rice.
The rice is coming up. That's my rice.
Oh, you
local rice.
You can have a taste of it and see for the salt and the pepper. You can use this one.
Tasting it. And it's spicy. I like the fact that it's spicy. There's a lot of pepper.
Yes.
Nice. Okay, my rice is coming up.
She washed off.
No, she washed out. I think. Yeah. So our rice is here.
So our rice is here. We always advise you to wash your rice because you don't know what might be roaming in there.
Yeah. And pick out all the stones too.
Yes. And this local rice, but it's salted already.
Okay. It's salted already.
Salted. Like
okay, so you picked out.
Yes, the stones have been removed already. And how is the salt?
The salt is fine. I like a bit more. I like salt, so I think it's fine. It's nice. So because of the dawada jollof that you're making, Rabiatu, do you realize that almost everybody in studio has gone to change and is wearing a jalabia? They just want to identify. No. Whoever has gone to change and is wearing jalabia. I see Jay in the background wearing a white jalabia. Hi Jay, you're not invited. So 2 years down the line, do you think it was a good move? And would you thank your friends every day for pushing you?
Every day I thank them.
Do you make free food for them?
Yes, I do sometimes. Yes,
so
I do sometimes.
The first time you got an order, what was it like? Did you panic? Were you able to meet your target? I'll say share.
It wasn't easy. My first order was 40 people. I just put a flyer up on Facebook. And then people shared this, and then a lot of people ordered. And it was 40 people.
40 people?
40 orders I had that day.
Nice.
So you see, I'm used to always like making small quantities like that. So I didn't know that. I had to prep everything the night before I cooked. So I woke up in the morning, then I started. I gave them 11 o'clock. And I realized that time was beating me. But thankfully, two of my friends came to my rescue.
Okay, they helped.
Yes, my friend from North Legon, Millicent, and then my cousin who I used to share an apartment with, Ricky.
Okay.
So they took charge. and then they helped me. So I want it to fry in the stew a bit before I add another set of water to cook it. Right. One thing about local rice is that it takes a lot. It drinks in a lot of water.
It's hard.
Yes, it's hard. So it takes a while to cook. Okay. So while that is doing, can we have this washed so that I start there?
Definitely. Okay. So while the dawa jollof is simmering and we're about to start prepping the ingredients for the tubani.
May I have water?
Yes, definitely. We're going to take a quick breather. We're going to go over to Multiti Saida Sadiq. She's about to deliver sports to us in style. And I can guarantee that Multiti will not have some of this jollof because by the time she'll be done, no. And so guys, coming up is Breakfast Spot with Multiti Saida Sadiq. We'll be right back to the breakfast kitchen, I mean.
There's a lot of activity happening in the studio. You have no idea the smells in the studio from that shea butter and the dawa jollof. I'm sure you're salivating at home. Just get some dawa. Follow the process. It's still live on Facebook at the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, and you can prepare yourself some delicious dawa jollof or hit Rabia 2 app for that jollof. But this side, we're here to talk sports. On the Eid edition of GTV Breakfast, I am Multiti Saida Sadiq. A lot happened yesterday. Was classical with how Djokovic just won that classical game against Kyrgios. We'll bring you that a bit later. Also, the stories that are making headlines in the sporting world. German-born Malika Mamadou has switched nationality to play for Ghana, the Black Princesses. A lot of people are switching back to play for Ghana, you would say. Also, Hearts of Oak legend Mohamed Polo launches a book that will guide young talents in their football skills and their football talent. We'll do some athletics, we'll do some boxing as well. Let's start off with people or our stars who are switching to play for Ghana, our national teams. Now, German-born Malika Mamadou has switched nationality to play for Ghana ahead of the Under-20 Women's World Cup in Costa Rica next month. The Black Princesses have commenced training at the Accra Sports Stadium ahead of their training camp in Europe to prepare for the tournament. Now, the Black Princesses are drawn in Group B with Japan, Netherlands and the USA. The 70-year-old left-back who plays for FC Zalon in Germany has since been training with the Black Princesses and says she's looking forward to making the squad that will represent Ghana at the World Cup in Costa Rica.
My name is Malika Mamadou. I'm 17 years old. I was born and raised in Germany to Ghanaian parents, and I'm happy to represent Ghana, the Ghana national team U20. I actually grew up with brothers, and my senior brother motivated me to play football, and it's been a great journey so far. I'm a right back or left back defender. My current club is FC Zalon in Germany. I actually enjoy playing football because it makes me feel relief from all the stress through the day. And so far we have achieved many things in our club. One is that we won an international tournament in Netherlands, and my role in the team is I'm a leader, but I'm not a captain, but I'm a leader to motivate new players to take them on. I actually enjoy the training. At first it was really hard for me because of the weather is different than in Germany, but I could quickly adapt to the training. So I hope that I can make it for Costa Rica and represent Ghana and make them proud. I actually just want to encourage all the girls, don't be afraid to try to play football. just be brave and do your thing and stay blessed. Bring back the love.
Well, congratulations and good luck to Malika. We hope to see more switching of nationalities to play for our national teams. Now, almost 3 decades after hanging his boots, former Accra Hearts of Oak and Black Stars legend Mohammed Ahmed, who is known as Polo popularly, will be launching a book that highlights his illustrious career, which spanned between 1973 to 1994. Now, the 106-page book titled Polo, the Magnificent, the story of the dribbling magician, recounts the memorable action scenes of Mohammed Polo and his life in football until his retirement in the year 1994.
This is a lifetime that has come in my life, to launch, a book of my career in football. And this book is going to be dedicated to the introduction of Ghana brand of football that we played. So that the generation of today will have that sort of method and quality to take Ghana football to the next stage. Ghana football, and for that matter, the quality of Ghana football, goes with its brand, and this brand will come, to life by, the Mohammed Polo, as he's going to, dedicate the book that, is launching to ensure that Ghana football, moves to the next stage, and that is Ghana brand of football, Agro. Yeah, the date is on the 4th of July at Kofi Annan ICT. That is at Reach, and I hope everybody will be interested to come and patronize it so that we take Ghana brand of football to the next stage.
Did you see those dribbling skills? Wow, massive. We'll be there. King Kaf is in charge of the fundraising, so I'll be there with him live. We hope to see you there as well. Let's move to athletics, where the Ghana Athletics Association has announced a team before heading to the 2022 World Athletics Championship in Oregon, United States. Now, the 2022 World Athletics is set to begin on Friday, the 15th of July, and end on Sunday, July 24, 2022. The 7-member team includes Ghana's #1 sprinter Benjamin Azamati and long jump record holder Deborah Aqua. Now, Ghana will be participating in long jump, that's the 100 meters, the 200 meters, the 800 meters, and the 4x100 relay events at that championship. We wish our athletes the best of luck. I know Azamati will do us proud as well as Deborah. Let's move to the WAFCON 2022, where 6 teams have qualified to the semi-finals of the ongoing Women's Africa Cup of Nations. That's the WAFCON 2022. Host Morocco have been drawn in the quarter-final with Botswana, Zambia, and face it off with Senegal. South Africa will play Tunisia, whilst in all West African affair, Nigeria will lock horns with Cameroon. Now, the Super Eagles ended the group stage with a 4-0 victory over Burundi in their last group game to set the quarter-final date with Cameroon. Here are the highlights.
Referee
Chelsea target Rafinha. As reports indicate, Leeds and Barcelona finally reached an agreement for Rafinha. Now, the deal is actually worth close to 75 million euros, and Rafinha could take a plane to Barcelona soon. Now, Barcelona has always been the Brazilians' preferred destination, but until recently, Chelsea were the only side to meet Leeds' valuation of the £55 million plus £8 million add-ons. Rafinha has been left out of the Leeds squad for the team's pre-season tour of Australia, which suggests a deal is close, although it's thought that Barcelona will have to activate their second financial lever first. Still on some transfer news, Chelsea, the Blues have agreed a £47.5 million fee with Manchester City to sign forward Raheem Sterling. The 27-year-old started his medicals in London yesterday and will continue today, with Chelsea hopeful of a deal that will be completed in time to allow the England forward to join the club's pre-season tour in the United States of America. Sterling has remained Chelsea's top target this summer, even though the Blues were strongly linked with Leeds forward Rafinha and his fellow Brazilian Richarlison. Sterling has agreed personal terms on a 5-year contract with the option of a further 12 months. Well, Barca have been quick to that chase, haven't they? Still on transfer news, Erling Haaland says he's going to have an exciting time with Manchester City playing against his former side United. After much speculation, Haaland sealed a €60 million move to City back in May following 2.5 prolific campaigns at Borussia Dortmund. On Sunday, the Norwegian was finally unveiled as his new club alongside fellow new arrivals Julian Alvarez, Calvin Phillips and Stefan Ortega Moreno in a special event at the Etihad Stadium. During the presentation, Haaland was asked which club he was most looking forward to facing during the 2022-2023, and his answer was unsurprising. Let's look at what he said.
Forward to it. It's going to be nice.
Good morning, my neighbor.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
It's a good morning, and we serve you breakfast.
Not just any breakfast.
Sizzling helping.
A la carte. Yeah, all the time. Okay, let's take a peek. Let's take a peek at... I brought my spine.
There are certain things that we do to help the children with their brushing.
And there's much more on offer on GTV Breakfast.
You want it served buffet style?
On-site restaurant.
Complimentary breakfast?
Off of your plate chicken vegetables.
So in my lifetime, I haven't seen Ghana Black Stars win an African Cup.
Yeah. Can I show what this person is about?
Yes, definitely.
Where's the camera?
Just stand and turn.
So what's your pleasure than Botras, yeah? At that time of the morning. So never skip breakfast.
On GTV Breakfast.
From Monday to Friday at 6 a.m.
We've got you covered with a trusted team.
Coming live from the capital. This is the Breakfast Show.
Good morning, my neighbor.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
It's a good morning, and we serve you breakfast.
Not just any breakfast.
Sizzling helping.
Yeah, all the time. Okay, let's take a peek. I brought my spine.
There are certain things that we do to help the children with their brushing.
And there's much more on offer on GTV Breakfast.
You want it served buffet style?
On-site restaurant.
Complimentary breakfast?
Off of your plate should be vegetables. So in my lifetime, I haven't seen Ghana Black Stars win an African Cup.
Can I show what is written on the box?
Yes, definitely.
Where's the camera?
Stand and turn.
So what's your pleasure than Votras, yeah? At that time of the morning. So never skip breakfast.
On GTV Breakfast.
From Monday to Friday at 6 a.m.
We've got you covered with a trusted team.
Good morning.
It's a good morning, and we serve you breakfast.
Not just any breakfast.
Sizzling helping.
And there's much more on offer on GTV Breakfast.
So what's your pleasure than Votras, yeah? At that time of the morning.
You want it served buffet style? Complimentary breakfast?
On-site restaurant.
Or room service.
We've got you covered.
From Monday to Friday at 6 a.m.
With a trusted team.
So never skip breakfast.
On GTV Breakfast.
Coming live from the capital. This is the Breakfast Show.
Good morning, my neighbor.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
It's a good morning, and we serve you breakfast.
Not just any breakfast.
Sizzling helping.
Yeah, all the time. Okay, let's take a peek. I brought my spine.
There are certain things that we do to help the children with their brushing.
And there's much more on offer on GTV Breakfast.
You want it served buffet style?
On-site restaurant.
Complimentary breakfast?
Off of your plate should be vegetables.
So in my lifetime, I haven't seen Ghana Black Stars win an African Cup.
Can I show what is written on the box?
Yes, definitely.
Where's the camera?
Stand and turn.
So what's your pleasure than Votras, yeah? At that time of the morning. So never skip breakfast.
On GTV Breakfast.
From Monday to Friday at 6 a.m.
We've got you covered with a trusted team.
morning.
It's a good morning and we serve you breakfast.
Not just any breakfast.
Sizzling helping.
A la carte.
And there's much more on offer on GTV breakfast.
So what's your pleasure than Votras, yeah? At that time of the morning.
You want it served buffet style, complimentary breakfast,
on-site restaurant,
or room service?
We've got you covered.
From Monday to Friday at 6 a.m.
with a trusted team.
So never skip breakfast.
On GTV breakfast. Coming live.
Almost ready. You boys should see tea. In the background, T is already holding her plate. It's money. Food is not done and T is already holding her plate.
I'm going to look for my spoon.
Okay.
By the time I find the spoon, I'm sure we'll be. Right. Thank you.
So what that is doing?
So okay, yeah. So this is the tubani. So tubani is just blended beans. You can use any beans, right, Rabiatu?
Yeah, you can use any beans, and some use bambara beans.
Bambara beans, right? Okay. So this is just the powdered beans, and then she's added water
and cow and salt.
Water, cow, and salt.
The salt is to taste.
Salt is to taste. And so, do you need to get? Does the texture need to be a certain way? Does it have to be lighter? Can you make it lighter? Can you make it thicker?
No, have you seen? It doesn't have to be light. It doesn't have to be thick, so that it doesn't run down the distance.
So it
should be in a way that the leaves it can hold on to the leaves.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, how long does it usually take to make tubani?
If you cream everything, 30 minutes. If you are boiling.
Can I see
this?
Okay, it's all very, very smooth.
Yeah, so we can start with our paste.
Okay.
So we'd have used wacha leaves, but we didn't get some. So because of that, we'll be using plantain leaves. Yes. This from my garden.
Your garden? Oh, go green. Go for yourself. Nice. When it actually bears, can I come and get some of the plantain? That's what I want. I don't want the leaf. I want the plantain itself.
I'll ask my husband so that you come.
Alaji, she's asking you so many things. Alaji, please indulge us. So let me help. Let me take the smaller one. Let me take the smaller one. So what? You make it into a cone. So
yes.
You can use plantain leaves when you don't have wache leaves, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So what we do is
and it gives the same flavor?
Yeah, it gives the same flavor. I've never tried the plantain leaves per se, but I'm just trying it to see because that was the alternative.
So this is a cone. We're making a cone for the tubani now.
So what I'll do is I'll try and hold it. Then the leaves are breaking. So
then let me just take this one off.
They are breaking.
Did you do it? Okay, so we are filling it. What are we going to do to this? Are we going to bake it?
Yes, we are going to steam it in hot water.
Steam it in hot water.
Yes.
This is beans. This is beans, blended beans, guys. So should I try putting mine?
Yes, you can.
I think I've made one in my size. This is my size. So this is mine. I'm going to have this.
Okay.
Do I have to fill it to the brim or just halfway?
Just small.
So guys, this is what mine looks like. First time ever making tubani. It's coming out too.
That means the leaves broke.
Oh my goodness, Val.
About it.
Oh my goodness, Val has done it.
Hold this for me.
This. So guys, the trick is make sure that when you are folding the leaf into the cone, you get it just right, or you are going to end up like me. It's going to be leaking. So, hey. I think if I'm to adopt a Muslim name, what name would you give me?
I'll give you Rabbi.
Rabbi.
My name.
Oh, I like it. So should I make the next one, or you think I should just stand here and watch you?
Please just observe.
Okay.
So the rest.
Know thyself, guys. Know thyself.
So the rest, what I'm trying to do is that I'm trying to do it into the flakes.
Right.
So.
Wow.
Our jollof is sizzling. Can I taste it?
Yes, you can. I actually want you to do that. How is it? Yes, you can come and try.
So should we cover it now?
Yes, you can. Just give it some like 5 minutes. Is
5 minutes
is it
more.
still hardened?
Honey hot, it's all right.
Okay.
So guys, we are in the process of wrapping our tubani, and Rabia is going to steam it. But before we come back, we're going to scoot off briefly to Kaf and his guest. It's still the breakfast show. We are still live, and Headlines is up next. Kaf is going to be discussing what's trending in the newspapers, what happened over the weekend, everything that's trending and more. Coming up on Headlines with Kaf and his guests, and that's coming up now. We'll come back to the BFS kitchen later for you to see how all this looks. But right now, we are going to Kaf. He's at the other side.
Yeah, the studio has been effectively dawa-dawalized, and the aroma and the perfume has filled the whole place. It's not even funny at all. Rabiatu doing great stuff with the dawa-dawa jollof, with her very faithful assistant, Rabi, aka Valerie. Rabi Valerie, yeah. And so we'll make sure we taste some of that thing before we leave this studio, because they cannot just be tormenting us like this, seriously like this. It's not even funny. Today is the Eid edition of GTV Breakfast. I've been having a chat with Hanifa, the nurse. Very interesting conversations about nursing in Ghana and the challenges, and do nurses cry? Yes, nurses cry. Yeah. And very, very interesting. Just a little 5-minute chat, but I learned a lot from that conversation. And I'm going to be having a conversation with my guest, my Monday morning guest. For those of you who haven't seen our show before, on Mondays around this time, we have our Headlines conversation. And we have two very powerful guests who always kick off the week for us in a grand style. Bernard Odro Techi, aka BOT, is with the Commonwealth Alliance for Young Entrepreneurs. And he's also a certified chartered economist, and his specifications are in industrial economics, financial economics, and public policy analysis. Bernard, good morning. Good to have you here.
Good morning, Kaf.
And Eid Mubarak to you.
Same to you too.
Fantastic.
I'm enjoying the smell in the room.
Oh, dawa is this is what heaven will smell like. I'm telling you. This is what heaven will smell like. And sitting next to him, dressed for the day. I normally see him in a suit or some powerful kaftan, but today he's taking it to a whole new level. He's Dr. Kwekuana Nijinde. He's a lecturer and a lawyer. He teaches at Jimpa, and he's a corporate governance expert as well. Doc, salam alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
All right. Before I jump, we go into our rant. I have my little rant. Okay. So I traveled to one of our West African neighbors this weekend. Now, the good thing about my travel was that, yes, the fuel is cheap. So I went there to see whether the fuel would be cheap. The fuel is about 30% cheaper than Ghana. So what I bought for 200 cedis, the equivalent of 200 cedis there, I would have spent 270 here in Ghana. So the fuel is cheap. And the motorbike people respect the red lights. So when it's a red light, they stop. So that was a good. Now the bad was that the police there don't wear boots. They wear slippers, man. I couldn't believe it. The police officers were wearing slides, chalawate, full uniform chalawate. I couldn't believe it. It just shocked me completely. And not just the police. They had the military guys also wearing chalawate, Really? Customs also, Charlie. I'm not going to name the country, yeah, for diplomatic reasons. But let's just say I went there and I saw it. I was not happy. And when I came back to Ghana, I was saluting every single police officer I saw in our country. And I said, you guys are doing well. I love your turnout. I've just seen your counterparts in the neighboring, and they're. I'm still traumatized right now just thinking about it. Even the barriers that I approached, there was like a string across the road. That was a barrier with plastic bags hanging on the barrier like some fetish something, I don't know. And you get to the barrier and there's nobody there. So you sit there for 5 minutes and then you have to come out and then go and walk to where the officers are. And they are sitting there in their chalawati and their uniform. You know, they start speaking French to you. And I say, I don't understand. And then we kind of get through. And Ghana Police, as for your outlook there, I give to you 100%. So that was me, my experience in a neighboring country that I will not name. Dr. Jinde, what's on your heart today? What do you want to rant about? What do you want to think about and tell us about this morning?
Well, there are two issues. My Antieku Road.
Oh.
I sat here and then told the whole world that they put a grader on it.
Antieku is in which constituency?
Anya Sotium.
Okay, in the Greater Accra region.
Yeah, we used to be Weja Bawe.
Okay.
And Weja Bawe was created out of Anya Sotium.
Okay, sorry.
And for the record, the Minister for Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration, what's her name?
Shelley
Ayoko Boche. She's been a member of parliament for that constituency for 16 good years.
4 terms.
4 terms. And now the new member of parliament is Honorable Dr. Admakun Kisi.
Yes.
So it has been an MPP stronghold since Kufuor's time.
20 years.
So that's the constituency we live in. Last week I told the whole world that they put a grader there, and I thought they were going to do some serious work. But the work they've done, they just put a grader there, no gravel, and then when it rained, the road has become worse than it was before.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so that is our plight. So I'm using this platform, first and foremost, to plead with the president, and then appeal to the Minister of Roads. The people there are also Ghanaians, and they have been voting MPP all this while. And you see, there's people vote because they want to see some development.
But it makes sense. You vote for what you want.
So I think government should also take a look at the roads in Anya Sotium. I think we also deserve some good roads there because we are also citizens and we pay taxes like another person.
Did you still park your car at the filling station?
Yeah, my car is still at the filling station, and then I'll go with my motorbike and then I come here.
I hope you have your helmet and everything.
Yeah, everything is in my car.
Yeah. So you park at the police station?
Yeah, I park it at the police station.
Every day?
Every day.
Then you go by motorbike?
And then I go by motorbike to my house.
So when your parents, your wife, your children came, how did you organize that?
Well, one of my cousins had a 4-wheel drive. So she went and took it from the airport, brought them home. So if you want to go to town, now he's giving car to us virtually for 4 weeks now because my car cannot go there. Yeah. So we are pleading. Wow. We are pleading with government.
And your family is still in town?
They are still in town.
Okay.
So we are pleading with government to come to our aid.
Are your daughters getting culture shock?
Well, not necessarily, because I schooled them before they came.
Okay.
And I told them that this is the situation. You are coming to a new country, where things are a little bit different. So don't expect what you see in Germany, because we are still a developing country in Ghana. So I schooled them, and then I prepared them before they came.
What do you think shocked them most when they came around?
Yeah, what shocked them most when we're coming from the eastern region last week, Volta region rather, the bridge at
Adomi.
Not Adomi, just here, Atomic Junction.
Okay.
The bridge over there.
Oh, okay.
We just passed over the bridge, and when we're coming, we heard a very loud noise that the president was coming also. So we just wanted to give way, and then the dispatch rider, he came very close to my car, and then he used his boot, knock on my car. So my children were very shocked. Oh, really? They were very shocked. They were very shocked. We were trying to give way, and the guy just came with his motorbike, left with his right foot, bang! He hit us. He hit us. So, Papa, what is happening? I said, yeah, the president is passing. But must this be? They asked me.
They were shocked.
This is the other experience that I don't think they would want to recollect. So
why did they boot your car?
Well, they said we should give way. We were trying to give way, but other road drivers were on my right, so I couldn't go immediately. So I was waiting for them to move, so that I also moved and we all stopped, so that the president would come and pass. But the police officer was not too patient. I think he was too enthusiastic. So
and he used his boots.
He used his boots and he knocked on the car.
What would have happened if he had fallen off his bike?
Well, I would just run over him. It would be an accident.
Would you be liable?
Well, it is an accident. Well, then you have to. If we have to go to court, we have to look at the circumstances. In effect, he ran over me. I did not run over him.
And did the president actually come and pass by?
No, he came up. The president passed 5 minutes later.
Oh, so this was an advance party?
Yeah, it was an advance party, yeah.
Clearing the way.
Clearing the way for the Lord to arrive. That was the only unpleasant experience.
Yeah.
Apart from that, they've enjoyed Ghana.
What have they enjoyed most about Ghana?
Well, when we went to Volta region, the scenery coming from Volta region through to Somanya, Dodowa, and we also went to see some forts. We went to Cape Coast, and you see, they were very emotional when we got to the point of no return.
Yes.
And I explained to them that our brothers and sisters in America, this is where they were shipped from, and when they got here, they couldn't go back. And the last one was almost crying. How can people do that to other people?
Yeah.
He doesn't understand.
Is your wife German?
No, my wife is Ghanaian.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, my wife is Ghanaian.
But they felt the
felt
emotion.
it. They felt the emotions. Yeah. So I mean, they are enjoying Ghana.
Fantastic.
Apart from that little incident,
the boots.
we can ignore that. And pretend that it didn't happen.
It didn't happen. So boom, you heard it like that.
Yeah. Oh man, I was driving myself. So boom, and he went with his
man crying. The Lord is coming. Prepare a way for him. Make straight his paths.
So this is the other thing, and the other thing I want to say is to say happy first Eid Mubarak to all our Muslim friends.
Yes.
You know what?
Tell me.
My grandmother was a Muslim.
For
my
real?
late grandmother.
Okay.
And then the one who comes after me is also a Muslim.
Your brother?
My brother.
Okay.
So we have a lot of...
so you have Muslims and Christians in your family? Direct family?
Direct family.
Okay.
And you see, the most important thing I learned from my grandmother, you see, I was living in Branhafo. My grandmother was in Bamwe, which is Northern region. And I wanted to take advantage of the free education.
Okay.
So I went to live with my grandmother.
That's all.
And I think my grandmother has been my moral compass. She taught me a lot of very good lessons. Lesson number 1, be nice to every person.
Okay.
Be nice to every person, irrespective of who you are. You can be rich, you can be more beautiful, you can be more handsome, but you cannot be more human than any other person.
I love that quote. You can be more rich, you can be richer, you can be more handsome.
Be more human.
But you can't be more human.
You can't be more human than any other person.
I love that.
Second lesson is that you don't have to be rich before you can help others. Because she shared the little that she had.
Okay. You don't have to be rich.
You don't have to be rich before you can help others.
I like that too.
And that the stranger you meet may be the angel. Boom. So 3 important lessons, and this has guided me throughout my whole life. And you see, we are living in a world where we are suffering from what we call dictatorship of relativism. It means everything is relative. So we cannot make the difference between right and wrong anymore. Right has become wrong, and then wrong has become right. This is what has guided me. And especially when you grow and you get to a certain level, these important lessons, they become meaningful and then essential in your private, in your professional life. But these days, all these lessons, we've lost them. This is what I miss most about my grandmother.
She passed.
She died at the age of 104.
Wow.
She died in 95.
At 104?
At 104.
It means she was born in 18-something.
She lived very long. And if there's any place called heaven, I think my grandmother should be there by now.
Waiting for you.
For me to join her.
Yeah, but not now. You've got to prepare a place for you.
No. So I think these are the things I've learned from her. And I think in these days and age where the world has become so polarized, where people cannot differentiate between what is right and what is wrong, especially in our part of the world today, we've developed appetite for filth.
Okay.
Filthy message, filthy language, filthy music, filthy dressing. So we cannot make the difference between right and wrong anymore, Kafui. But we pretend dictatorship of relativism.
I like it. Lots of things we've learned, lots of lessons from grandma, and I'm sure we'll keep them and also build on them. She's our grandma too, and we thank God for her life.
Thank you.
Bernard.
Yes, Kaf.
Eid Mubarak to you.
Let me say good morning, especially to our Muslim brothers. My very good friend, all-time best, is a Muslim.
Okay.
And
what's his or her name?
Latif.
Latif is a guy.
Latif, you know, in fact, he pushed me to become Commodore Hall president in 2008.
Nice one.
You know,
so Latif is a Vanda.
Vanda pure one. He works at the Lands Commission.
One time.
He came as a mature student, though.
Okay.
So he was like almost 10 years older than me. But then he urged me on to be, and finally when I became the Hall president, I also appointed him to serve at the SRC General Assembly.
This is how we do it in politics. Yeah, one who helps you, then you give him a job.
He brought a lot of maturity to the SRC at that time.
Okay.
Because when we go for meetings and all discussions are concluded, he brings his perspective as a mature student to the table. So initially when I appointed him, they were like, he was not too known face in the political space. But when GA started discussion and stuff and the perspective he brought, people saw that I was exonerated because I saw something more than everybody could see. So I think that as a guide for future appointment, it's good you appoint people who know you and whom you know, but let them bring something unique to the table. My rant is on two things: the Auditor General report and the Sri Lanka insurgency in Ghana card. The Auditor General report, I've gotten the chance over the weekend. I spent a whole amount of time to review the 2020 Auditor General report and the new one, the 2021. In the 2020 Auditor General report, a whopping 12.8 billion could not be accounted for. Now, this figure has shot up to 17.4 billion in 2021. What this means is that we're losing a lot of money for wasteful expenditure, or people cannot account for it. So my worry is that there is a nation that is running up to IMF for a bailout of $2 billion US. Meanwhile, in 2021 alone, a whopping 17.4 billion could not be accounted for. It could be embezzlement, it could be infraction, it could be wasteful expenditure, it could be anything. CAF, if you convert $2 billion to new Ghana cedi, that amount to, if you use a rate of 8.2, that amount to 16.4 billion. So it means that the money that we are running to IMF to look for, we have this money in the pocket of other people. So if you are too serious as a country, I will maintain on this show, our government and Ghana for that matter, we don't need IMF. We need common sense and wisdom. Because you have 17.4 billion in just one fiscal year. That could not be accounted for. It could be in the pocket of people, it could be wastages, it could be any other thing. But you've left this 17.4 billion and you are working to IMF that will give you terms and conditionality. As we speak today, at the close of negotiation between Ghana government and IMF, certain flagship programs for government will be reviewed. For example, free SHS can be cancelled, NAPCO can be scrapped, captation grant can be scrapped, and any other thing can be scrapped. But if the government had elevated instead to protect the public purse, we would have saved 17.4 billion and kept the flagship programs on the government. So my recommendation is simple. The things we can protect and keep, let us protect and keep. So that will not allow IMF, World Bank, and all those Bretton Woods institutions to determine the pace of our development for us. The last one is the Ghana card and the Sri Lanka one. Ghana card, as we speak today, there is a new CI, constitutional instrument, on its way to Parliament. In that CI, they are going to make Ghana card as the only guarantee to use to register for voters' ID card in Ghana. If the constitutional instrument materializes and it matures in Parliament, on which I believe it will, what it means is that if anybody wants to register for new voters' ID card in Ghana, you need to have a Ghana card, else you cannot. Statistically, almost 40 to 60% of Ghanaians don't have Ghana card. So if you are going to make Ghana card as the only guarantee for voters' ID card for the 2024 election, it means that we are going to disenfranchise no less than 60% of Ghanaians. My humble appeal to National Communication Authority, Ministry of Communication, is that let's make it practical for people to have access to Ghana card. And let me commend the government. You see, To have a national identification card is commendable. If you go to Europe, America, and other jurisdictions, it is something people want to own because it enhances your nationality. So the government committing resources to do that is commendable. But as we speak now, almost 40 to 60% of Ghanaians don't have Ghana card. And if you are going to make the Ghana card as the only guarantee to register for the new voters ID card, by default, a lot of people cannot have voters ID card in Ghana. Last of it was Sri Lanka insurgency. Look, if you read the trajectory in Sri Lanka, it looked like people are peeved about the establishment in Sri Lanka. It looked like family and friends, corruption, nepotism.
It's mostly family.
Mostly family.
Yeah, the guys.
I have checked. And if you look at the most powerful family ruling the world, that family, since independence, it has been that family throughout.
The same family.
And it's look like people are not happy. And this should be a wake-up call to other African leaders. I don't see anything wrong for appointing a family member into your government. But when that appointment becomes a bastion for looting the public purse, that becomes worrisome. Because you see, Calf, if your cousin, your brother is competent and he merited, he must be appointed. But when, after such appointment, his appointment becomes a conduit to mail the state, that is where the bone of contention comes. So if you're president and your brother, your cousin, your nephew has the qualification and the moral high ground, he deserves to be appointed. But in Africa, and for that matter, other parts of the jurisdiction, when these people are appointed, you cannot crack the ship on them. So the Sri Lanka experience should guide the Ghanaian leaders that, look, people are watching you. So if you are cousin to the president, you become, let's say, finance minister, secretary of state to the cabinet, and your actions and commissions warrant an element of corruption, it builds some resentment in the people against the government.
And it's quite serious in Sri Lanka. You know, people broke into the president's house.
Swimming
and they said, I saw pictures of them swimming in the pool.
Yeah.
They said they're not leaving the
until
house
he
resigns.
Yes.
So they're putting pressure. I think his brother was a prime minister.
Yeah.
He also left.
Yes.
He has another brother who is a youth minister, a
Everything's
finance
about
minister.
the
It's all family, it's brothers and uncles. It's crazy. The same name, you know, and they've been running this business for a long time.
Because of the Commonwealth experience, I've worked with some of their leaders. And when they come for the Commonwealth meeting, they are timid. You know why? Because when you go back to your country, you should be careful what you say at the Commonwealth meetings. Because they control affairs. Yeah. You know, so if you meet true Sri Lankans, they are timid in a way. You are timid because when you go back to your country, there's a policeman watching you.
In respect of the Ghana card, I think even if they pass that constitutional instrument in parliament, somebody can go to court and get it quashed. Why? Because the constitution says, before you can vote in any Ghanaian election, first and foremost, you have to be a Ghanaian.
Yes.
80 years and above, and of sound mind.
That's it.
But my question is Ghana card the only means of establishing my citizenship?
Exactly.
Let them do it. Others will go to court and challenge that, because the Ghana card is not the only means of establishing my identity as a Ghanaian. What of my birth certificate?
There multiple ways.
So, I mean,
passport.
They shouldn't let us get there. They shouldn't let us get there. Why should the Ghana card be the only means of identifying me as a Ghanaian? Don't I have my birth certificate? So you want to tell me that the Ghana card is more valid than the birth certificate? Others will argue that your Ghana card will be used as a base document too. But that should not exclude the use of the birth certificate. So they can go to parliament, they can pass it, because this parliament has become a very timid parliament. But they kowtow to everything. The only time they disagree is when it suits their convenience.
But is it not ironical, because the parliament is it's basically a hung parliament? So we would have thought that, conversations would have been...
principled? It's a hung parliament. But are they principled? Are they doing politics of convenience or conviction? I don't see any politics of conviction there. It's only politics of convenience when it suits them, when they know that they are going to win some political points, or when they know that it's going to inure to their benefit. So even if they pass it, somebody can go to court and get it quashed.
But in the last voters register that was compiled, you remember that the EC made the point that you can use passport or Ghana card as a guarantee.
Yep.
Now somebody went to this same Supreme Court that Doug is calling for. That is what transpired. If you want to secure a passport, the primary data or document is the birth cert. The Supreme Court ruled that birth cert will be inadmissible to get your voter's ID card. Come to think of it, if anybody wants to own a passport in Ghana, the primary information or data you use is the birth set.
Of course.
Now, Electoral Commission of Ghana tells Ghanaians that to be able to secure a voter's ID card, the only guarantee is either passport or Ghana card. Somebody went to Supreme Court to challenge that premises, and the person was thrown out. And the Supreme Court ruled that birth set to be inadmissible. So for me, I've lost trust and confidence in the Supreme Court of Ghana, not only the Supreme Court, the entire judiciary. Because you see, if I want to get a passport and I need a birth set to get that, and you are telling me that to secure a voter's ID card, the birth set is inadmissible, then where's the logic here?
I mean, what is more important, elections or identity?
You see, so the logic in that ruling by the Supreme Court didn't make sense to many people in Ghana, because to get passport, you need a birth set. But the Supreme Court ruled that to be able to get voter's ID card, birth set is inadmissible. So for me, I would not even waste my time to go to the court of Ghana, because it will be unanimous against you. It's going to happen. This place, we are not going to stop coming here. Let them go with the CI, let the CI mature. Let any Ghanaian walk to the court of Ghana, the person will be thrown out.
You see, but my problem is, if you look at the sources of law in Ghana, the Constitution is the supreme law of the country. So whether CI, Act of Parliament, constitutional instruments, statutory, they fall under the Constitution.
And what does the Constitution say?
And the Constitution says you have to be a Ghanaian.
So now how do we prove that you're a Ghanaian?
Yes. By my birth certificate.
But the Supreme Court is saying what? With respect to
the Supreme Court said that to be able to register for voters' ID card, birth set was inadmissible then in 2020. And the person who filed the application was thrown out. Well, so it reverted to the status quo that to be able to register, get either a passport or Ghana card.
How do I get my passport?
You need a birth set. So let the Supreme Court interpret it for us.
I think that ruling, I have to look at it
again.
I have to look at it again. If the Supreme Court ruled that way, that should not be the end. You can go for a review.
Okay.
So and then tell them that they erred in law. Because if you tell me that before I can vote, I have to be a Ghanaian, 18 years of age, and of sound mind.
How do you prove I'm a Ghanaian?
How do I prove that I'm a Ghanaian? By my birth certificate.
And how do I get a birth certificate?
Whether you are born in the hospital or you go to birth and death, then you have to, if you get that, that is enough for anybody to register for the purposes of voting in Ghanaian elections. Now, if you want to limit it to only the Ghana card, I can't get the logic.
Yeah, a lot of people
I can't get the logic, honestly.
Let me ask a question. Do you have a Ghana card?
Yes, I have a Ghana card.
But I do have one.
I do, but many people don't have.
Yes, and I want to ask that question. Do you have a Ghana card? I'm asking you this morning, this Eid edition of GTV Breakfast. Do you have a Ghana card? Yes or no? Would love to know. Okay.
Let me first supply this information. There are a lot of Ghanaians living outside.
Yes.
But they don't have the Ghana card.
Indeed.
There's something instructive here you must know. The National Education Authority put it out that to get the premium, pay 200 or 250 Ghana cedis. People are lining up to pay, and they are not getting the Ghana card. People virtually want to pay
to get the card,
and they are not getting the card. So I'm asking the presidency today, what is the job of that CEO? Look, you are selling a commodity, and you price it at a value you feel is comfortable for you.
And people are ready to pay.
People are ready to pay, and they are not getting it. What is the sense in it? Look, you see, we need KPI for people who are appointed into public offices. Key performance indicators. Because you see, you are selling this awake bottle of water for 200 Ghana cedis. And you have people lining up to pay to get this bottle of water. And you are saying, I will not sell this bottle of water to you. What is the sense in this?
Maybe it's not available.
What should make it available? You see, when you sit back and you analyze some of the things Ghanaians go through, it looks like we have misleaders. We just have misleaders in this country. Because Ghanaians all over the 16 regions in Ghana are begging to have Ghana card. After when you go to the center, people virtually are sleeping there.
They just want the card.
They just want the card, and they are ready to pay, not for free. They have the money to pay, and they are not getting it. Why?
You see, Kaf, I think you guys should call the NIA boss and then ask him what some of these things are happening.
He doesn't speak.
But where I'll differ with
he doesn't speak to the public.
No. But where I differ with Bernard is when you want to blame the president. You see, the president has put certain people in charge, so that if they are not performing, we should ask questions. We should ask them to come and answer to us. The president cannot be everywhere. And if the person is not performing, I also expect the president to also do something about it, to fire that person. But I think NIA, I think the grammar is too much there.
Too much grammar.
There's too much grammar there. There's too much grammar there, so people must sit up and do the work for which we are paying them. You know how much it takes home at the end of every month.
You study these things. How much does it take home?
I think he doesn't take less than 70,000 a month.
That's cities.
Cities, excluding his allowances, clothing allowances, entertainment allowances, house help allowances, cook allowances, and security allowances.
70K.
Yes, and after every 2 years, they'll come and change his furniture.
Okay.
Residential furniture.
Why?
Yeah, because he's NHI boss.
National Identification
This one I said, look, the system we put in place, we've created a group of super Ghanaians who think that they are above and more important than any other Ghanaians.
Why do you think that is so?
No, because the law has been shaped in such a way that they will cheat the ordinary people and then make the elite more comfortable. This is why I always agree with Karl Marx. The state has conspired with the ruling class to suppress some of us, to put us at the bottom of the social ladder. Why on earth should we pay somebody 120,000 a month because he's the governor of Bank of Ghana?
He's governing the treasury of
Why can't we get, you mean to tell me that we can't get Ghanaians who are equally qualified, who be prepared to take half of that money? Now going to IMF, I don't think it's the solution, no. Going to IMF is not the solution. If we don't put our house in order, we continue to go there. How many times have we gone now? 17 times.
18 times. That is the 18th.
We are not thinking right. We are not putting our house in order. If you have 100 and we have more than 100 ministers. Germany, 84 million. They have 26 ministers. Japan, a country of 126 million. They have 19 ministers. So what do we pay people for doing nothing? And then we pay them this obscene, offensive salaries. So if we don't put our house in order and then also make sure that we produce, export more, get more, add value to it, we produce oil. But are we adding any value to the oil we produce? No, we sell it on the black market in its raw form. While we have Tor.
Oil refinery.
Yes. If we are processed it, we can have some for domestic consumption and also have some for export. That will ensure that we have a proper balance of payment. But we don't do that. And at the same time, we are paying these people obscene salaries, very offensive salaries, to CEOs who are not performing. Ministers who are deputy ministers, some of them are more than, they are not more, they are just like glorified messengers, the deputy minister. We don't need them. We have the chief directors. The deputy ministers, ask them. They go there and they say they do nothing. If you are lucky, you get a minister who give you some assignment. Oh, go and then open this public toilet here. If not, you just stay there and you have nothing doing. They are nothing more than glorified messengers. But we are paying them. So IMF to me is not a solution. Let's put our house in order.
What do you think what kind of conversations do you think they'll be having at these IMF negotiations?
Well, if you are going to IMF, you go with your program. Well, I'm in difficulties. I have these challenges. This is my program. And they will look at it and then they will see whether they can support or not to support. But before they support, there's no free lunch. Kafui. In this world, there's no free lunch. There will be conditionalities. Definitely, you cannot run away from that and you cannot rule it out. So let's wait and see the conditionalities that will be attached. If Ghanaians be prepared to swallow those conditionalities, well, we are yet to see.
The information minister was here last week. He spoke with Thelma, and he said, "Oh, they are going for the money for balance of payment support." What do you understand by that?
Now, balance of payment means, you see, every country you import and you export. But if you import more than you export, you have problems with your balance of payment. So what we have to do as a country is to make sure that we export more. And what we export, we should add value to it. So that the oil that we produce here, we shouldn't just export the crude. Let's refine it. Get some for local consumption. And then what we have, we can also export it and sell and make more money.
Cocoa beans as well.
Cocoa beans, the gold, the cashew nut. Whatever we produce here.
I was having a conversation on our Vandal platform last night, and they were making the argument that Ghanaians don't even eat chocolates. So there's no real market for chocolates. But I do know that the dark cocoa is reputed to be, it promotes good erections.
Wait, that,
so I was thinking that why don't we just promote the thing as something that will help men, so that the people can be buying this. We'll run out of stock.
It's not a question of Ghanaians producing, taking chocolate or not. Our cocoa is premium. So that if you're able to produce enough cocoa here, you can target the European market, target the American market.
Why are we still staying out in beans? Why are we not processing it? And then
because we are not thinking right.
I found out that there are so many things.
We are not thinking right. That is all. We are not thinking right. And take Tor, for example. You produce crude oil here. You have a refinery that can refine, add value to it. You can export and then also have some for your local market. But you are not doing that. Tor is sitting there. And that is why some of us, we get very angry when politicians talk. When they are in opposition, they have one voice. When they are in government, they have another voice. You know, Tor was not working during NDC time. And the MPP spoke a lot about it. Now MPP is in power almost 7 years now. Tor is still not working.
I'll take a trip to Tema to go and speak to the CEO. What's the if I could ask him only one question,
I think we've discussed this thing here before. So you see, we've been held-hosted by the political class who think that they have the right to enjoy all the best things of this world, whilst we, the ordinary people, we are suffering, wailing, buying fuel at very exorbitant prices. That cannot be right. As a country, this cannot be right. We have to sit up.
Thank you.
No, Kaf, quick one. Let me take it from how Honorable Kojo Oponkroma appeared on the show. I watched the show fully with him, and when he said that we are heading to IMF not for a bailout but for BOP support. That's totally false. If any government spokesperson, if any economist advances that argument, then the person is not being candid, being honest with Ghanaians. It is very simple. If you take your fiscal consolidation, right, it's about three things.
What is fiscal consolidation?
Fiscal consolidation simply means that your taxation, your borrowing, and your expenditure. It is the interplay of these forces that control your fiscal discipline, and either you have surplus or deficit, and whether it's international or local. Now, the challenge of Ghana within our fiscal spectrum is not taxation and borrowing, it's about the expenditure. Because if you look at even in times of COVID, GRA outperformed. It means they made their target beyond.
So to break it down, we are spending more than we're earning. No, we spend more than we are
earning. No, I'll come to that. So in the fiscal consolidation arena, we are taxing the people rights. You can say that few people are paying taxes. But the target we set for GRA, they are meeting that target. Two.
Maybe the target is too low.
Well, they can decide that because they have employed and not me. So if they think the target is too low, government must wake up. Then you come to borrowing. Look, we cannot say that we are not borrowing as much as we don't need. We are borrowing beyond what we need. Because for the past 6 years, the borrowing has been beyond what we even expect them to borrow. Now, after you've taxed the people, either it is oil, revenue, oil taxing, whatever taxing, and you've borrowed, we expect you to put them into something that will be meaningful. If you check from Kwame Nkrumah's time till now, only 2 governments never worked to the IMF. Nkrumah's regime, Kutu Champon's regime. We should go back and ask, what did these 2 governments do right? The champion of all people we thought was a military government said, Operation Feed Yourself. We have similar of that policy now planning for food and job. Go back and check the impact of Operation Feed Yourself and the Kutu Champion as opposed to now. So you see, the argument that we are not going there for bailout is totally false. It's a lie. We are going out there for 3 things. 1, monetary cooperation. 2, financial liquidity into the system, because as we stand now, government has a serious liquidity challenge. Okay? Then beyond that,
government is broke. Is that
government is broke? They shouldn't lie to anybody. Government is broke. As these trade unions and workers union trying to go on, the government doesn't have the money. And the last for policy credibility.
Let's say, when you say liquid, we're thinking of a week, man.
Okay. So,
money no day.
We don't have.
So,
I don't understand this.
Yes, that's why I'm breaking it down. That's why I'm breaking it down. So if you are illiquid, you don't have money.
Water. Government doesn't have water. So let me break it down so every person understands. Government is broke. If government were not to be broke, why working to IMF? And the last of it working to IMF is for policy credibility. What it means is that all your front-loaded flashy programs, 1D1, free SHS, it has no credibility with the people and you are not getting the money. So Kojo must come again. Kojo must say that government is broke and we need a savior. Simplicity.
055-556-1034.
Kafi, but my question is,
yes.
I think we have to be a little bit critical here.
Mm-hmm.
You said the projects have lost credibility. Maybe we don't have the funding, but not that the projects themselves have lost credibility. But
not enough money to fund the project.
Not enough money. But to say that...
I stated three things. You see, okay. It's for policy credibility.
Mm-hmm.
You see...
Who determines that the policy is credible?
Now, the policy becomes credible when you have other people funding it. The last time I stated on this show that one of the most counterproductive ever foreign policy by the government of Ghana beyond aid. If you check the records, you can do some review. After government put up that policy position, a lot of donors withdrew because you are saying that you are beyond aid. If you are beyond aid, then I'm going to look for another country that needs aid. So some of the pronouncement and the posture of the government, some way, somehow, detach the donor community away from Ghana. And for me, I will humbly plead the government of Ghana to withdraw Ghana beyond aid policy. It's not good for the image of Ghana. No matter what you are doing now, you know monkey?
Yeah.
Before you must nest up a monkey, you need a good veranda. Get a veranda before you make some pronouncement.
I've never had a monkey pet before.
So the Ghana Beyond Aid agenda is good, but keep it within you.
And don't say it.
Don't say it. Build your foundation and build your profile. And when you have gotten a certain footing, you will not even need to voice it out.
Maybe we should have gone the Chinese way. The Chinese didn't make too many statements.
No.
They kept saying that, oh, we are a developing country. We're a developing country. No, we're just, and then before you know, boom.
They were there. So maybe some of the pronouncements for me, in my time, Mr. President, Ghana Beyond Aid, kindly review it. Get a new name for it and let the donor community know that we need help. Because you see, school feeding was being funded by other development organizations. Today, the money is not coming. Check. School feeding is in areas. Do you know why? The donor community has withdrew their support for school feeding. Because you said Ghana Beyond Aid. So we are taking the aid to another country.
Doc.
Yeah. I think the whole idea of Ghana Beyond Aid, it is a good thing. Because how long can you continue to depend on others?
But should we have kept it just to ourselves?
Well, maybe as to how it was communicated, I'm not too sure. But I think we have to find a way to also move away from this dependency syndrome.
Yeah.
Note, these Bretton Woods institutions, they were not designed to help African countries. No. Even the time they were designing them, how many developing countries were at the table? So their interest was not taken care of.
Europe and America.
So we should also try to be, not necessarily through this pronouncement, but we should be able to find, organize our economy in such a way that we don't become too much dependent or over-dependent on foreign donors.
And I always believe that when you are doing something, don't announce that you are doing it.
No, you don't need to talk.
Just do it.
Don't name a baby that is not born. That was what the president and the government did. They named a baby
before the baby stomach. She was named after she came out of her mother's stomach. She's called Thelma. She got your messages.
Hopefully. Thanks for joining us. And these are the opinions of those who are sharing them with us on the screen and not the opinions of GBC. Remember, it's the holiday edition of GTV Breakfast, so let's try and keep it a bit light because I've tasted dawa dawa jollof and it's awesome. I've tasted tubani for the very first time and it's amazing. So let's be in the holiday spirit as I read your messages, okay? And here is the first one. The NIA have intentionally created a bottleneck so as to milk Ghanaians. Eric Ajay Kojo is saying so. Area Comedy Fans has sent us a comedy set and we'll look at it later. Good morning, GTV. I don't agree with Lawyer Nane not to blame Mr. President. He's been given the order to police to stop demonstration. Why can't he give an order to the NIA in charge of the Ghana card? That man should go and sleep.
The police cannot.
Okay.
The president doesn't order the police.
Good morning, Kaf and your dynamic team. Hey, BOT, since when have you lost confidence in the Supreme Court and other courts in Ghana? Hypocrisy at its peak by BOT. In 2012 presidential petition election, when the Supreme Court ruled in favor of the NDC, he had confidence in the Supreme Court, but today he doesn't. Hypocrisy will kill Ghanaians watching you live all the way from Elobo, from Citizen K, and he has even more to say. He said BOT has never applauded anything by the government, always been political on every issue. Good morning.
I disagree.
Once
you comment every day he comments.
So Citizen K, those are Citizen K's opinions, and you can
He's
disagree.
a very balanced person.
Good morning to you all in the studio. The Minister of Finance should be sacked. He is the problem with Ghana's economy. Even the former Minister of Finance in Kufuor's time is far better than Uforiata. I mean, the man called Osafo Marfo. So that's Isa reaching us there. Trisha sending us good morning wishes. Hi, Calf. I have my Ghana card. Hey, nice. A friend linked me to a worker at one of the NIA offices. I'm afraid I'm not mentioning the district. I don't want any wahala. Within 45 minutes, I had my card and was out of the building. I paid less than 250 Ghana cedis being charged at their head office. My regards to your astute Monday panel. Trisha, you're playing your hand here. More messages coming in. Good morning, breakfast show. Your men are really making my this morning. The ministries are not performing, should be put to order so that our country will be in a developing stage. For now, I think we are all in the line. God help our homeland, Ghana. Nana Kojo is saying so. Emmanuel, good morning, CAF. The reason a birth certificate is not acceptable is because it doesn't state the nationality of the parents of the child. And unlike the US, being born in Ghana does not make you a Ghanaian. Let's educate the public with facts and not emotions. Okay. Good morning, Kafu, and your panel on the show. In fact, this country is very corrupt to the sense that they even deny the citizens of this country for having the Ghana card, but rather allow the foreigners who are Chinese to own one. It seems our leaders don't even know the reasons why we voted them into power, but I believe the table will turn one day. Stephen, just as a point of information, foreigners are allowed to have a Ghana card, and it's called the foreigners card. So you can't be any other national and still have a Ghana card, but as a representative of the country that you are from. Yeah. So it's not entirely wrong for anyone of another nationality to have a Ghana card. In fact, other nationals are also encouraged to register, but as other nationals and not as Ghanaians. So I just needed to point that out to you and for anyone who may be in some kind of conflict in their mind. Back to the messages on the board. Kafu, your panelists are very knowledgeable. I like the analysis. Please inform our leaders to remember what is happening in Sri Lanka. Our major problem is the high corruption rate and the size of the government. IMF will not solve our problems. We need good leadership. Plenty. I don't even know where to start. Name is Olua Emir. So he said, I would love to know some things about your plans because I have a lot to tell you and the world. Share them with us here and we'll read all of them. Good morning. Hope you're good. Indeed we are. I agree with your panelists that we pay obscene salaries to CEOs of public organizations as well as members of a bloated parliament and over 100 ministers. Unless we trim our wasteful expenditure, we'll forever lack the resources for development. Hashtag GTV Breakfast. We love that. Yao from Accra. Jerry joins with his regular good mornings. Happy Eid al-Adha to all our Muslim brothers and sisters, especially on this holiday. Thank you for sending us that message. Good morning, GBC BFS News. I'm from Tema. Okay. That tells us exactly where you are.
So it's valid.
It doesn't tell us what you're thinking, but thank you for sending that to us. Long one here.
Which community?
The measurable conditions for IMF lending that always relate to macroeconomic variables under the control of the authorities. Such variables include monetary and credit aggregates. And as I'm reading, I'm just hearing all the sounds from the kitchen side of the set. And so it's interrupting with all the international reserves, fiscal balance, and external borrowing things I'm reading. This one says that 2 billion won't change anything because this current government have spent more than that and they won't even account for what they will use the money for. It's a shame for this country. Goes on to make other analysis, quite lengthy there, but let me pick other people's thoughts so that we can get it a bit of everyone. Good morning to you and your listeners. Dominic Owahene from Ablekuma North constituency would like to wish all our Muslim brothers and sisters Eid Mubarak and pray Allah grants them peace and unity. May their festive season bring them joy. Ghanaians need a visionary leader, and he's suggesting who that leader should be. Hi, Kaf, how are you? I don't have a Ghana card, and I don't have the money to pay for it. So what do I do? This government is excluding me out of the public services of my beloved country. Very bad governance Ghanaians has ever witnessed. I'm not sure you have to pay for a Ghana card unless you opt for a premium service. So if you don't want a premium service, you don't have to pay for a Ghana card. You pay if you're looking for a replacement. If any of your details have been updated and one has to be reissued to you, then you pay 30 cedis. And that's not me doing PR. It's just information that our panel have shared with us in the past that sometimes I pass on to add to our collective education. Okay? Gotcha. All right. More? Hi, good morning. For me, I don't have a Ghana card and I don't know how to get one and it's really frustrating. Millicent from Santa Maria is sharing with us. Good morning, gentlemen. My brother,
There's no court that administers justice in this current generation in the ruling government Ghana. The constitution has been set aside. Can't you see? Alexander is asking. I'm Emmanuel from Memahafu. Thanks for the super show. Thank you as well. Do I have time to read more?
Last one.
Good morning, Kafui. I wish all Muslims were at Sunland use this occasion to pray Allah to protect our country from evil people. Alhaji Haruna from Shaiman. If I scroll to the top, yes, I bet exactly that's what I would see. So many more messages coming in. Do I have time to pick a few more?
One.
Because I think,
just one.
Mama, good morning. If you travel with these government appointees and you see how much they receive as per diem, Ghana will never go forward. So that's all time would allow me, Kaf, to read. But so many of you are sharing your thoughts with us and we appreciate them. Try some Ghana Jollof and Ghana Dawa Jollof and Tubani and Guinea fowl. Perhaps we'll be back to have another.
Somebody's crying. Just
interesting.
read for the president. Please read. Somebody's crying. Somebody's
crying.
We
love to read new messages. Good morning. I don't understand why some Ghanaians still believe the NPP and NDC can develop Ghana. Anthony from GIJ. This current government is a scam. Please read my messages here. So we have. We have read it. Thank you for sending them.
Thank you so much, Thelma.
Yep.
God bless. And I'm just ending really with some calls for teachers to. The president is appealing to teachers to restore services. And he says the teachers should go back to the classroom while the agitations continue on their demand for the payment of cost of living allowance. He made this at the Eid al-Adha prayers at the Black Star Square in Accra. Good call. Will they listen to him?
Well, I think as a president, this is what he's expected to do.
Would they listen?
Well, listening another thing, and then you making the call is another thing.
Okay, so he's made a call.
He's made a call, but I think to be fair, you see, if you take the Labour Act of 2003, 651, there are conditions under which you can embark on lockdown or strike, and there are various processes that have been spelled out. So I was expecting the teachers. I don't know whether they've done that. Before you can do that, you have to go through a whole lot of processes by giving notices. First, you start negotiations. If the negotiations fail, then you can also ask for an external mediator to do that. I don't know whether they've gone through all these processes before you can even embark on any industrial action. But I don't know. I'm not too sure whether they've done that. And even if you want to embark on any industrial action, you have to give your employer official notice, not through a press statement. I don't know whether they followed all this. But what I always want to say is that whether we like it or not, Ghana is a very beautiful country, and it can only be built by Ghanaians. Nobody to create the impression that he's working for somebody or he's doing anybody a favor. For instance, I'm not too excited with my salary at Gimpa, because I also buy the same fuel.
Of course.
I go to the same market. I cannot say because the cost of living allowance has not been given to me, I will stop teaching. No. Let us remember that we have a country to build. And it is take the collective effort of every citizen for us to build. Please, what I will do at this time is not to play the blame game. We just appeal to the teachers. They should go back to the classroom while negotiations go on. Because my position is that you don't negotiate. Nobody can negotiate under duress. You are asking me to come to the negotiation table. You have a gun over my head. It means I'm not negotiating willingly and freely. Because that strike action, while negotiating, if you want to negotiate, the strike action must be called off. But if you still maintain that, okay, I go on strike and still negotiate, no, it's not negotiation.
It's blackmail.
I don't call it blackmail, but if the person decides to negotiate under that condition, you'll be negotiating under duress.
Which is not fair, really.
Which is not fair. And the Labour Act is very clear on that. So I don't know, but what we can do is to plead with them, appeal to them, because we are all suffering. Not only the teachers, all other government workers, they also deserve some cost of living allowance. What happens if all the workers in this country, including GBC, you decide, oh, if I don't get my cost of living allowance, I won't come for the breakfast show. What will happen to this country?
No breakfast.
Please, first and foremost, let's think first and foremost about Ghana first.
Think about Ghana.
But on the other hand, you see, if the teachers want to consider all these things, and they look at the extravagant lifestyle of government appointees,
then they think they better go on
strike. I mean, you see, it has every coin has two sides.
That's correct.
So while we are appealing to the teacher, we also have to be mindful of the way we use government resources. You see, you don't move from here to Jirapa with government vehicle. going for your mother's funeral at our expense. But that teacher who has been teaching for 35 years, he goes on pension. And how much does he get? You see, our society is so unfair. So when we are pleading with them, we also have to be mindful of the extravagant lifestyles that we display.
Good point there. Bernard, 50 years ago, to call yourself a teacher it meant a lot of respect for you. Today, as a teacher, I mean, are teachers really being respected? Do we place a premium nationally on what teachers bring to the table, how they contribute to the development of the country? Is there respect? Is there an appreciation that teachers really are the backbone of any serious society?
Kaf, I took up the pen to review all governments from Nkrumah's regime, pre-colonial era, Nkrumah, to the current administration. And I look at the reverence all government and pre-colonial government had for the teaching industry. And I see it to be an industry. Because you see, show me one profession that had never got the foundation through teaching. None. The president you see, the minister you see, the ambassador you see, got that foundation from a teacher. I remember in class 5, we were asked to write future career. I remember very well. And I remember some of our friends, the things they wrote, some of them are living it today. Now, the teacher who took that script and marked it for you gave you the easiest to pursue that dream. If you go to some jurisdiction, the highly paid person is the teacher. In fact, pre-colonial and Nkrumah era, teachers were the highly paid professionals in the country. What changed? Look, if today we take up a national decision to make teachers highly paid, many politicians will move from the political field and move into teaching field. Make it look attractive. Look, teachers are not respected at all. They are not. And look and see, it is a case to be a teacher in Ghana. When I work at the assembly level, and because of the committees I serve on, I got the chance to be visiting communities. There are places you go, teachers, they sleep in uncompleted buildings. It's happening right here. And you expect that person to impart knowledge. No, they will impart misinformation. You go to play, people are teaching ICT. They don't have access to computer. And they draw this computer on the blackboard. 21st century. We are jokers. Go to Singapore today. If you go to Singapore, one of the most highly paid professionals are teachers. Today, when you pick a kid from Singapore and place it on the same table with a kid from Ghana, it will be like the kid from Singapore is coming from heaven. It's because of the teacher. Me, I'll never appeal to the teachers. I will appeal to the conscience of government. If it happened the next government, and even if I'm part, I'll still appeal to the conscience of government. Because look at the lifestyle some politicians live. You have a teacher with some of them with PhD holders. And you have a DC, you see middle school living certificate holder. Any more than the teacher, where will you see that? Some of these appointees, common construction, they cannot put it to beam. Their statements are written by chief directors. And they are earning more than the teachers. Where will you see that? And you expect Ghana beyond it to appear. It will not happen. It is still Ghana beyond borrowing. You still be borrowing because the right foundation is not being catered for. So unlike doctor who was appealing to both, I will not do that. I will take an entrenched position. And that position will not be restricted to this current government. If tomorrow another government comes, and I would still take the same position. It's a principal position. Teachers are being undervalued, underutilized. And in every community, when you go, when people get letters, they take it to the teachers. They are not respected. And you see, Mr. Government or Mrs. Government, when you respect the teacher, this economy will grow. Because the knowledge economy or the knowledge industry supersedes any other industry.
All righty. Thank you
so
much.
And that's my bone of contention.
That's your bone. It's a big bone indeed. And we'll end the cracking of bones on this day. I hope you enjoy some of the salah meat from your Muslim family
I'm just
members.
going for a dinner with my Muslim friends.
One time.
At Medina. That's why I'm
You are well dressed.
Dinner.
Dinner in Medina. I like it.
Dinner in Medina.
Dinner in Medina.
But before that, I'll tell someone that.
You tell the Tubani. No, you.
It reminds me of my primary school days in Bamboy.
No, you.
Tubani, we used to struggle for it.
Yes, I'm going there right now to go and wrap it up with her.
Tomorrow is the birthday of one of your producers.
Yes, Cynthia.
Mrs. Foucault.
Yes, Miss Cynthia Foucault. Yes, it's her birthday tomorrow.
I'm told she's 61 years.
No, she's a young lady. Very young.
One thing. You see, my association with GBC date back to 1998.
Wow.
And I must commend you, the new management and then the board. The new asphalt road I saw this morning. I became very jealous.
The year of roads has kissed us. A beautiful kiss.
So congratulations, the management and then the
board.
The board.
You guys are doing well, eh?
Thank you very much.
You changed the outlook and the face of
Thank you. Thank you.
Especially the morning show.
We love it. And you are part of it too. Yes. Our Monday morning panel.
And this is what good leadership is about.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Change has come to GBC.
I saw the asphalt. I was so happy.
Thank you. BOT and Dr. Jinde, thank you so much. I'm going to leave you right now to go and prepare a place for you in the land of Tubani. Because I'm going to step over to Rabiatu, who has finished her meal. Let me go and do some small tasting. Since Valerie and Thelma have left me, I'm going there myself. Rabbi, so before I started the show, Valerie started some process. I saw her wrapping things and just waxing lyrical.
Tubani.
And so we are done.
Yes, we are done.
Okay,
so
wow. So this is it.
Yes, this Tubani with shea butter
and shea butter.
and pepper.
What is it made of?
It's made of beans, water, and then mixed with cow or potash. Yeah.
Should I deal with it?
Yes, you can.
Wow. If there's food in heaven, it would taste like this.
Amen.
Please make sure, I have one favor for you, a request. You see, my guests have been talking for about an hour now.
Yes.
They are very hungry.
Okay.
So please prepare some tubani for them.
Okay.
And they'll come and eat before they go.
Okay.
So tell us about your place again. It's Dawa Dawa.
Dawa Dawa Jollof Delight.
You're on Facebook.
Facebook, Instagram, Facebook Dawa Dawa Jollof Delight, Instagram Dawa Dawa Jollof Delight, Twitter Dawa Dawa Jollof D.
Okay, and you cater for people who want great food.
Yes, I mostly deal in northern meals.
Yes.
Dawa Dawa Jollof Tubani and then T-Zert.
Thank you.
T-Zert either with ayoyo or with beto.
Okay.
We call beto. Yes.
Great
so
stuff.
we do mostly millet T-Zerts.
So it's Dawa Dawa Jollof Delight across social media.
Yes.
Rabiatu.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. Eid Mubarak.
The food is nice.
Thank you.
All right. When we come back, Ganiatu will sit down with Delma and they'll be talking about Islam and fashion. Forget about Islam and fashion. For me, I'm eating Islam and food, man. and great food here with my Tubani. But there's just flowing robes and headgear. And if you want to know what the connection between Islam and fashion is, you want to be watching our show. It's 8:31. All of you new viewers, where have you been? Good to see you. This is GTV Breakfast. My people, come and eat Tubani.
today he has been extra sweet, and the way he looks at me.
I have done everything by the book. It's on. Hey, but I have to get some condoms, Charlie.
Using a condom will protect you and your partner from HIV, STIs, and unplanned pregnancy. Condoms are an effective way for protection against HIV infection. Don't take risks. Use a condom every time. Always come prepared.
This advert is brought to you by the Ghana AIDS Commission and Ghana Health Service.
Hi everyone, thank you for joining me. On this side is the Eid edition of GTV Breakfast, and I'm out here in the 15,000-seater capacity Ghana National Mosque that was commissioned in July last year. That's 2021. So we're here to give you sneak peeks, a view of how this beautiful edifice looks like inside out. And our experts are here, who are part of the mosque committee and administration, to tell us the history, how it was claimed that the late President Jerry John Rawlings gave this land to the Muslim community after he destroyed a mosque that is now the Rawlings Park to the Muslim community for this edifice to be built, after which there was not enough funds to build this mosque. It dragged on years, but finally we've been able to establish the mosque with the help of the Turkish Hudai Foundation, and which we'll be speaking more about when they join me. And joining me now is the resident Imam from Turkey. He's Imam Ali. Imam Ali, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. Firstly, I want to thank you. You're coming here after we had pressure times with Kurban organization for Kurban Eid. Thank you very much for your coming.
Thank you for having us. How important is this edifice to you as a community?
As you know, this mosque is the best mosque is in West of Africa, and the hugest mosque in West of Africa. So, and the mosque is a gift, the big gift from Turkish brothers to their Ghanaian brothers and sisters, to everyone. They're also not this important of this mosque is not just for the Muslim brothers, Muslims. This is the whole Ghanaian, whole West of African people.
It's a historic edifice. Right?
Yes, because everything is representing something here. You can see the old tiles, different mosque from Turkey. Right. You can see. Then also big domes. It's from down to up 33 meters. And also everything is represented. You can see some roses, some tulip here. For example, the roses remind us to our Prophet Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
The Prophet loved roses.
Yes, and also there's a tulip. This is one plant. Is the meaning is reminding us the oneness. And also you see there's a big dome. Yeah, it's also remind us the oneness is Tawheed. We are the same here.
Right.
One under the dome here. We are
oneness of the people, yes, under the oneness of Allah.
Yes, yes, yes. And also we are performing Salah together. At the same time, 15,000 people, 15,000 Muslims are performing Salah here in this complex together. At the same time, inside of the mosque, maybe almost 5,800 Muslims can perform at the same time.
Amazing. Thank you. Imam Ali has just given us a rundown of how important the mosque is to the Turkey community. I'm going to be speaking now to Dr. Marzouk Mohammed, and I'll be speaking to Mr. Sadiq Abubakar as well. Please approach me. Let's talk about the mosque. look at the chandelier, look at the light, look at the floor. I mean, it's so soothing when you're standing on the carpet or the prayer mat. How do you see this mosque with all what is in it, the representation of art, the Arabic inscriptions on the wall and all of that, and even how the mosque started?
Yeah, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Peace and blessings be upon all. This mosque is a replica of another mosque in Turkey called the Blue Mosque, and is of representing Turkish Islamic civilization. This is, like you said, the first kind of mosque that was built in West Africa. Exactly. Historically, it began in not too easy way. We all remember the time when the ex-president, His Excellency Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings, demolished the Makola Mosque. For him, it was an eyesore. Muslims didn't take it easy, and they were a little rioting and demonstration around it. It was during the time of E.T. Mensah as the Greater Accra Regional Minister. Okay. So to suit the heart of Muslims, the then government thought it wise to replace the mosque and this land of 4.04 acres was given to the Muslim community. The Muslim community in Ghana started to organize the Muslims around to raise funds and start something.
But that didn't go so well, did it?
Didn't go so well. There were struggles. People were trying to contribute, but it wasn't enough to put such a mosque.
Right. Before we continue with that, though, what we are looking at right now on our screen, back at home on our televisions, what is it? What can you tell us this is?
Yeah, this one is supposed to be where the imam will stand and not the azan, but then yes, to give sermon. On Fridays there is a section where the imam will do khutbah, and we are expecting the imam to be up there so everybody can hear and see him. But then our national chief imam is so and he cannot go upstairs. So we use this one.
Okay. This other one
exactly. And he stand there to give the khutbah. Yes. Okay. And the inscriptions around is the verses of the Holy Quran and the names of the prophets and the 5 caliphates.
Right. The names of the prophet ranging from the prophet Abraham, Noah.
Yes.
Amazing. Right, and this is a 15,000 seater. Does the mosque always get full? Especially on Eid?
Yes, especially on Eid. During Eid, for instance, 2 days ago we did Eid here. The streets outside the mosque were all full. Yes. And on Fridays, especially on Islamic days, the mosque gets full. But on Friday you get not less than 5,000 people here praying. Yes, yes.
Can you show us where the women pray? We know that down here the men pray here. Where do our Muslim sisters and our mothers pray in the mosque?
Yeah, like you said, we the men pray down here, and there is an upstairs. Around
the balcony up.
Yes, and the women stands there and pray. And there is a courtyard behind us, a beautiful place. Exactly. Probably we'll tour the place.
Yes.
Probably we'll tour the place and you will see.
Yes, we'll show the beautiful courtyard where the women also pray as well.
It's also another place where women also go, and children, because we don't want the children to climb upstairs. Children. Yes.
Great. So that's what we are looking at on our screen right now, where the women pray. That's the balcony of the Ghana National Mosque. Very beautiful. As you can see, it's breathtaking. It's full of history. It's full of culture, of different people, different religions, different tribes. Because the tulip and the roses, as Imam Ali mentioned, that these were plants or flowers that are dear to the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and the essence of these flowers even in our daily lives. We know the importance of vegetation even in our daily lives, and that is what the Prophet sought to teach and preach for us to be able to inculcate. Now I'm switching over to Dr. Marzouk, who is here with me. Dr. Marzouk is just going to tell us some of the facilities we find in the mosque and the other add-ons that you don't have, the exclusives that GTV Breakfast is bringing to you. Dr. Marzouk.
Yes. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Eid Mubarak. Kullu aam wa antum bi khair. I'm so much happy to be here, and I'm honored to be given the opportunity by the television network of television networks. The mother of all television networks.
Mother of all television networks.
Yes. It is important for all of us to understand that His Eminence the National Chief Imam, of whom I am the PA, is happy. In fact, is so much happy to have this edifice. One of the most important achievements of His Eminence is the supervision of this edifice of architectural wonder. It has always been his passion to have a house of God constructed with all the facilities needed to advance the well-being of humanity.
Walk with me. Walk with me.
Right. So, as you may observe, this is just not a mosque. It is a house of God. It contains a school, a high school, right, Tinasco, one of the best high schools in this country.
How is the enrollment in the school? Is it open to Turkish students alone or Ghanaian students as well?
It is not just a school, but a center of interfaith harmony, a center of cultural civilization, a center of unity, and therefore it is meant for everybody, every race, everybody, every religious person, Christians, Muslims, Turkish, whites, blacks, everybody.
Amazing.
All the races or every race.
And it's called?
Tinasco. Yes. So Tinasco is here, very nice school. We have a very good library. We have facilities. We have centers of learning.
You have a laboratory as well?
We have a laboratory. A clinic is under construction. We have a well-furnished office of the National Chief Imam. We have other offices. We have a conference hall, which is meant for everybody, except that if you are renting that conference hall, you should also be ready to abide by the Islamic principles associated with that conference. So we have a lot of things. We have a football park, we have a pitch, we have a lot of facilities here.
Open to the public, the football park especially. I'm a sports lover, so I'm
sure it's open to the public. But as I said, every facility has its own rules and regulations. Exactly. So it is important for all of us to understand that this is not just a mosque. It is a reflection of the Quranic position that Islam is a religion and state. A religion and state because it is about God, it is also about human being. And when we talk about Islam as a state, we are not referring to Islam as a system of governance in a multi-cultural, multi-political environment. Where Islam is found in a secular democratic state, Islam must respect.
Like Ghana.
Like Ghana. Islam must respect, or Muslims in that country must respect the secular norms of the state.
Sovereign authority of that
state. Authority of that state. But that is not to say that they should stop to be Muslims, especially so when the Constitution gives them the opportunity to practice their religion. Article 21, it talks about freedom of religion. So within the confines of the freedom of religion, Muslims must do everything possible to respect the laws of the state, the secular laws of the state. That will even empower them to practice their own religion, worship Allah, and then service humanity.
It's endearing for others.
Exactly. And then you worship Allah and serve humanity, and then make it endearing, make it attractive for others to come to the fold of Islam. So this mosque gives us all the facilities. The Quran.
What are we looking at here? Right behind Right in front of us, actually. Yes. It's right in the, at the back of the mosque, not in the center.
Muazzin. Yes. So in the mosque, we have three main characters in the mosque, in every mosque. Okay. We have the imam, the muazzin, and the follower.
Break it down for us, though.
You see, the imam, the ma'mun, and the muazzin. Okay. In other words, the imam is the leader. Okay. The muazzin is the one who calls for prayer. And yes, and the ma'mun, you know, Arabic is very interesting. Imam and ma'mun.
Imam and ma'mun.
You see,
I'm learning some Arabic here.
Imam is the subjective noun. He is the leader. He does the leading. Okay. Ma'mun is the objective noun. He is being led. The follower. And the muazzin is a character between the imam and the
ma'mun.
He calls for the prayer. So this is a particular place for the muazzin. And you can see the equipment.
For the microphones. And
you understand that, yes. So this is a particular place. And this is unique. You can't see it anywhere.
Interesting. I haven't seen this in any mosque in Ghana yet.
Anywhere. This is unique. So this is to ensure that the ma'mun are given the opportunity to be heard. And the muazzin, who is supposed to mind this place, is given a comfort, a kind of comfort to be able to call for the prayers to be conducted. So no one comes here unless the muazzin. The ma'mun knows very well that he or she will listen to the muazzin. And remember, when I say he or she, I'm talking of gender equality. I don't want you to raise that question.
Of course. Why are you leaving us out?
You understand that? So the muazzin is the person who mans this place, who knows how to operate the equipment here, and who knows how to adjust them so that the call to the prayer will be done comprehensively and listened to comprehensively. So it is important for all of us to understand that, in fact, it is only in this mosque that you will see facilities that can never be seen on the continent of Africa.
On the continent of Africa, not Ghana.
Not Ghana.
You know, yes. It's amazing. Is there something unique about this mosque so much so that when you are far and the muazzin, yes, that's the one who calls the prayer, yes, you hear it from far? Is there something unique? I don't know. Are there acoustics? What's the unique thing? It's vibrating sound.
It's so unique. You know, if you've been to Istanbul or you've been to Europe, there are places of worships that are also supposed to obey the noise laws in the country. You understand that? If you go to America, churches and mosques are places of worship. They have their own microphone systems, but all the noise should be heard within. Turkey, being a European nation, takes into consideration all of these things. And for that reason, Turkey, which is the largest sponsor, I mean, when I say Turkey, I'm not referring to the Turkish government. Let it make it clear.
The Turkish people.
The Turkish people, particularly the Huday Foundation. These people are Turkish, but they are not working for the Turkish government. They are an independent institution, and they are helping us. So once again, this gives me the opportunity to tell the whole world that this mosque hasn't been built formally by the Turkish government. It has been built largely by the Huday, a Turkish foundation, and individual Turkish business people.
Right. That's what Imam Ali was talking about. He said the Turkish brothers.
So the acoustics, you were talking of the acoustics. The acoustics here, let me treat the acoustics as singular. The acoustics here, as given to us by the Turkish, is so special that it has been designed in such a way that if you are outside, you will hear it clearly. If you are inside, you will hear it clearly. But that is also another beauty of Islam. Islam emphasizing the need for sound engineering. And that is why it is important for all of us to understand that Islam is not just a religion, it's a religion of knowledge.
It combines a lot of sciences.
A lot of sciences. And that is why exactly that when you have an edifice of architectural wonder like this, you must have the source of the science, and that is knowledge. You can see the school, you can see the library, you can see other facilities of knowledge.
So this place is like a groove, an epitome of an institution that embodies knowledge. There's a library, there's a laboratory, there's a school, there's the edifice here with the gender equality where we have our women where they pray. I think the women even have a lot of space because of the outside, yes, and then the balcony as well. So
again, let me add one thing. It's not just a school. I mean, it's not just the Tina school. You know, education is progressive. I want to believe that in the next 10 years, TINASCO will produce a fully fledged university. A university of all kinds of sciences will be available to enhance the quality of the well-being of the Islamic community and to contribute to the socio-economic development of the Republic of Ghana. Yes.
You heard it here first, that TINASCO will evolve into a university that will train people, and the Muslim community, the Christian community, students will come here to school so that they'll be able to promote the socio-economic development of Ghana. Beautiful edifice here. You must come here, see Ghana, say something, enjoy Ghana, post about it. And this National Mosque is the historic site that you have to come, enjoy the art, and say something to somebody so that they also come here. This is a foundation that has been able to go out of its way to produce this beautiful historical edifice. That's how we wrap up here on the tour of the Ghana National Mosque. I'm here with Jay and the crew. We are handing it over back to the studio to continue the Eid edition of GTV Breakfast.
Thanks for staying on. It's our special Eid edition of GTV Breakfast, and we are happy that you're on this journey with us. We've just had some Tubani, so if you missed it, go on our Facebook and Twitter platforms and just watch what you've missed all over again. And that will be there indefinitely, so you can always go back to refer to it. Check out the recipes that Rabiati shared with us. She's the queen of Dawa Dawa Jollof, and she's made some sumptuous dishes for us today, Dawa Dawa Jollof and Tubani. There was also some guinea fowl and some amani in there. Awesome stuff. Maltiti has just taken us on a tour of the National Mosque. So if you didn't know, there's a similar one in Turkey, and the Turkish government gave it to us. Some of the things we found in that report. Awesome stuff from the National Mosque. Now we are going into fashion, and we'll be looking at Islam and all its do's and don'ts when it comes to fashion. And I'll introduce my guest to you after we take a word from our sponsors, Airtel Tigo. We'll be back.
Star 500 hash and arrow mount for Airtel Tigo money. And your transaction now. Use the more, Casa more, now browse the more. What you be in your Kenya? Eating Kunim. I want to go to reload it. With the 18 money in the 8
You too can command your money sharp. Simply dial star 500 hash and meet your 80 money, call and data target to win big in the 2 reloaded promo.
When it comes to dressing, for many people, religion plays an important part. And if you're Muslim, some consider that to be the most conservative when it comes to the appropriate things to wear as a Muslim. The colors are nice, the hijab is nice, We love seeing our hijabi news presenter Malti to do her thing wearing her hijab, which represents her religion. But what really should you or should you not do when it comes to dressing and Islam? And we're doing Islam and fashion today. The person who will help us understand all these is Ganiatu Salau. She is the CEO of Regans, and she's here to educate us more on what it means to. I see that you're rocking your turban already, and you're saying that you're going to be giving us a few tips on how to wrap our own heads.
Definitely.
So disclaimer: I'm useless with scarves. I can't do anything. In fact, I'm using anything that has to do with my hair. I need help.
Okay.
So when you're a Muslim, what's the key thing that you need to keep in mind when you're dressing? Modesty, I bet, is what you would say.
It is.
Okay.
It is actually modesty. That's the first thing you should have in mind if you want to dress as a Muslim lady.
Okay.
Yes, please.
So where should that come from? From the top of your head?
Actually, in Islam or as a Muslim woman, everything about you should scream modest. So from your hair, from the crown of your head to the sole of your feet should preach modesty. So anything that will attract less attention to you should be what you do in terms of dressing as a Muslim woman.
We see a lot of glam and flash and panache when it comes to the Muslim ladies and the fashionistas among them.
Yeah.
How is that modest? How are you so fashionable and yet you cling to this concept of modesty?
All right. So beautification in Islam for a Muslim woman is actually accepted and is actually regarded in high esteem in Islam. However, I mean, there should be a balance in how to be modest and also being glammed up. And of course, I mean, I do understand that there are people that can go or can have let's say jewelries and excesses, for example, and you have people that do too much, but the actual concept is probably find a balance in beautification and in modesty. So it's finding a balance.
When it comes to the Quran, what does it say about how people should dress?
Okay.
Or how Muslim women should dress?
Okay, so for the Muslim woman, covering up should be the essential of how you dress. So the Quran tells us to cover up from from our head to toe. Ideally, our hands, our feet, and our face should be what people would see when they see you, but that is what the Quran says. But I mean, modernization, we modernize little things here and there.
But the guidelines are strict for some.
Yes,
is it different for different sects of Muslim women? Because I know that there are the Ahmadis and the Sunnis and the others.
Yeah.
So are there different standards for all of those people?
Okay, so the Quran is one. There's only one way to dress, but then it's how people practice. Practicing is quite different. People have different orientation. There are people that actually have very strict background, so they adhere to what the Quran says. There are also people that have very flexible background. There are people that have maybe a hybrid system. They may have very strict background and their orientation may be using or doing the strict kind of
So those
Muslim
are the kind of people we see with only their eyes
niqab and
peeping out of.
Yes, so we do have people that choose to wear the niqab, and we do have people that choose to wear the burqa. So the burqa has, you don't see anything. It's like a veil, like a wedding veil, black, mostly black or brown. And then we have the niqab. With the niqab, you just see their eyes. And we have people, the hijabis, that do the full hijab, and we have people that do the turban like I am doing. So it's just orientation and probably your background and how you choose to grasp Islam.
Is it absolutely necessary for every Muslim woman to keep their hair covered?
It is necessary to be covered as a Muslim woman.
But your hair, the hijab?
Every part of you.
Should
Not
be
only
covered.
your hair, yes please.
I know a few people who are Muslims, and I won't say names on national but is it possible to say that, you know, today it's a bit warm, I just want to let my hair out, or today it's quite cold, so the hijabi suits the weather, so I can do we get to pick
we are
and
all
choose
not
as Muslim
perfect. Like
women?
for me, for instance, I am in turban. Ideally, I should be in a full hijab. So there are no excuses. You naturally do not have to make excuses. And contrary to what people say, there's not the heat people assume the hijab comes with is actually not necessarily true, because just like you're wearing weave on, I might see that this weave on, what if my hair is itching? Right. Exactly, but then you are comfortable because that is how probably that's what you choose to wear, and you make up your mind that okay, I'm going to be okay with this hijab or with this weave on. Same thing with the hijab. There's no necessarily I'm feeling too hot. I think it's all in the mind.
Okay.
Exactly. And then there are no times to choose. Today I wear hijab, tomorrow I'll not wear hijab. But I mean, we are human, so.
And when it comes to even the head covering, I know that it's also influenced by whether or not you're single or married. Explain that difference to us.
Okay, so in Islam, ideally, there is no differentiation in dressing for the married woman or the single woman. Everybody is supposed to wear a full hijab. That is it. But culturally, there are people, let's say in Ghana, for instance, culturally, there are people that have adapted the use of the big hijab, normally called the mayafi. So you see people that get married, Ameria. So you see, let's say, new brides or people that are going to get married, and they tend to always go out with these mayafi, probably wrapped around their neck or their faces or their head. But then Islamically, everybody is supposed to wear hijab. It's just cultural orientations that have people adapting to using mayafi and other types of headgear. So
I'm sincerely blown away because I always thought that the hijab was for the younger people, or maybe the head wraps was for the younger people, and then the mayafi, which is like the big
no, that's
silky flowy thing, was for the married people.
No,
that's not it.
Cultural. That's cultural.
Okay,
but
so you're going
Islamically, everybody's supposed to wear hijab. So if I have the mayafi and I can wrap it in a hijab form, of course, by all means. And it doesn't necessarily have to be if I am married or unmarried. It's just cultural adaptation that we have just we are using in Ghana and other African countries.
Okay, you brought your team with you, and they are coming to demonstrate some of the styles for tying a turban. So you see, there's a lot you can learn on the breakfast show. Today, you're going to learn how to wrap some quick turbans. And so if you are going somewhere and you're having a bad headache and you know that weave is a bit hot and you just want to try something new, then you can play around with some turban styles. Aganiato is here and she's going to show us a few ways to do that with the help of her team. We have our model who is just getting seated, and then Aganiato brought her able sister and assistant, and she'll introduce her and then take us through what you will be doing and explain as the process goes along. Yes? Okay.
All right.
Introduce us to your partner here.
My sister and co-owner of our business, Rafiatu Salao.
Okay.
And today we are going to do different turban stands. So this is a kaftan with gold detailing and everything. So we chose a gold scarf in order to match the dress. So she's going to have different, at least 2 turban styles that will ideally go with this dress. And the reason is, you know, the neckline of this is quite high. So wearing a full hijab, you're going to, let's say, the details of the dress is going to be missing. So we're going to stick to a turban style. So that way you still have the details of the neckline and the turban will still be popping. So
it looks so easy because I watch Martiti every morning and it's madness when we're trying to get ready. And we have like 2 minutes and she's like, yeah, I'm done. Chill. She's always so chill. And then she takes in.
It's actually easy.
It takes me 3 days to tie on one scarf.
Are you kidding me?
I can't figure it out. And so I had to go to a funeral on Saturday.
Okay.
And everyone is like, oh, Thelma, your scarf is so nice. You don't know how I know.
Oh, really?
And I'm looking at this. It's been, 30 seconds?
Oh,
and the thing is almost done.
It's actually not difficult.
Do you have like names for these turbans?
These are just turbans, not necessarily, just turban styling. So they are not.
Why did you have to put a bottom black fabric?
To make it voluminous. Once it's voluminous, you're able to style it as diverse as possible. Like you're going to have.
It's a lot like what we do when we are going for funerals. Miriam, good morning. She's my friend who's the queen of scarves, and she will always put a little wig on, so that you'll get a bit of
it makes it more fashionable when there's more volume under your hair. Like you're able to manipulate the scarf into different styles. comparatively to when the head is flat. When it's flat, it's not so fashionable.
Okay.
So like this is
we can twirl hair around so that we see what the style looks like from the back as well.
Yeah.
So it's just a plain with all these things that are,
so this
going
is
around.
You have, when you have, let's say, 30 seconds or 1 minute, and you have to go on.
4 days. 4 days.
This is very easy, like extremely easy to do. Very easy.
No pins.
No pins, not at all. So one thing too is in styling turbans, the type of fabric you use is very important. So something like this, you can use a silk fabric or a satin fabric. Usually cotton. So this is called jersey veil. Jersey veils are stretchy cottons and they are easy to style. So anytime you're going to do a turban style, it's easier to use jersey veils, that's stretchy cotton. Those ones are very easy, but silk will drape and satin they'll be draping, and you need a whole lot of pins. And I mean, not all of us go around with so many pins. So
or any
exactly
for that matter. So this is one style, and you can rock it wherever.
Yeah, wherever.
There are no limitations on where you can go with turbans.
No. I mean, the only place is to the mosque if you're going to pray, because if you're going to pray, ideally you should have a full hijab.
Okay.
Yes.
So if you're going to pray, don't do that. Basically.
Ideally, yes.
All right. So let's take us through the next style.
All right, sure.
Easy to wrap, easy to unwrap.
Yes.
Okay.
Very easy.
So now we go to something more. Let's see what they come up with. Talk us through this process.
Okay, so I'm actually trying to guess what style she's going to do now. Yes. So.
Okay.
Okay. This style is actually one of the very famous styles of this one you can do.
Okay.
You can.
No. So
it's actually very easy. You have it, you twist it.
She makes it look easy.
No, it is actually.
If you're a beginner like myself, you probably need a few tries to get this just right.
Maybe. It's just twisting and turning around.
Okay.
You have it, you twist and you turn around. Very easy.
It looks fabulous.
Very easy to do. You don't have to have so much. These are just quick turban styles. Very easy.
Okay, so we've learned 2 so far, and the back is still pretty much the same as the first one, but the front has that little twirly thing going on.
Please.
Okay, so you're going to show us another one.
Okay.
Okay, go on. We are very interested. So we are learning how to tie the different styles of turbans today as we celebrate the Eid al-Adha, and my meat has still not arrived. So I'm calling out all my Muslim friends. Good morning, Abdul. Enjoying your fancy job at the UDS. Talaisa, also enjoy your fancy job at GBC in the northern part of the country, and my goats and my cow meat are still not arrived. From all of us at the breakfast show, we are asking for our goat meat from the 2 of you in particular.
But quick question.
Okay. Yes.
Did you give them anything during Christmas?
Oh, Christmas died for all of us. That's where.
No, but I mean,
where you get it wrong.
No, I mean,
Christ is the gift to the world.
No, but you still celebrate.
Is the gift.
You still celebrate. There's some form of fowl killing, meat slaughtering.
You're very cool.
I know.
You want to spoil the
I know, but I mean, you give. Okay, what about Easter?
I've read that Mary.
What about
pregnant.
Easter? Did you give him anything?
As for Easter, we all meet at Kwewu now.
Are you sure?
And we all go to there's a place in the Volta region, fantastic experience.
And then you could have also gone to Independence Square.
Jerusalem is for all of us.
No, but they were sharing meat at the Independence Square. You could have just gone there.
They did invite me.
Oh, but did you invite them to Kwewu?
Yes.
You did?
So government invited all of us. So let's go and climb the mountain. And we are learning new ways to tie the turban. Just don't come and ask me for Easter. Yeah, if the Eid.
So you see. So I mean, you have to give. So we also give. Give and take. And
that's why you're giving us styles.
So you give us something.
That's why you're giving us styles.
I'll hold you accountable, please. I'm holding your
giving us time.
Christmas, 25th Mrs. September.
You see, you don't even know when the Christmas is.
No, 25th December.
Please stick to the turban.
Okay.
That's what we are hearing. So what are we looking at? It's another.
Yes, it's another style.
And it was just a lot of twisting, and then we ended up here.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, like the first style, there was several twisting, as you're seeing, and this time she rubbed it at the one part of the head.
Okay.
So to make it more fashionable
around.
too. Exactly. So.
Okay. So this one is not a circle.
No.
But it's like a half.
Exactly, like half head.
Half her head is just gone in
yes,
that way.
Yes,
I'm loving it. I think I should buy more of these fabrics.
Oh,
so
you should. Yeah.
Where do we get fabrics like this, and then what length should we be looking at? Because I'm guessing that if it's not long enough, you may not be able to achieve the styles that you're looking for, right?
Okay, so first of all, it actually depends on the size of your head. Yes, but then usually when it comes to veils, there is a standard length for when you go to the market, for example, or if you come to us, for example, Reagan's, every veil we sell has a standard length, and that length is more than enough to take you through every turban style that you want.
Okay.
So there's no centimeter, millimeter, but then it's all there is a standard length. Yes.
Okay.
Please.
Do you have more styles to demonstrate for us? And you can keep going so that I will engage you. When you're done, just prompt us, and then we'll come and have a look. But we'll be keeping an eye on what you do.
Okay.
But when it comes to even dressing,
yes, please,
for Muslim women, there's a perception that it's quite expensive because you have to have different pieces of clothing on you. Is that true? Is that realistic?
Okay, so expensive is relative.
Okay, I'm looking at it's looking similar to what we've done in the past, but this one is going twice round.
Okay, so expensive is relative, and just like we have Gucci, we have Prada, we have all these
designer
expensive,
labels,
luxurious labels. We do have very expensive, modest wears, and we still do have relatively affordable modest wears too. So there is relative, let's say expensive is relative, but yeah, it's a relative, that's the word.
But if you have to say buy one of these,
this can cost 35, 40, 45, 50, 60 cedis for a head wrap.
Okay.
Yes.
And you can't leave home without it.
Yes.
And the fact that you need different colors of it
to
match every outfit.
Okay, so in that sense, maybe, but then you don't just buy it at a go.
Look at that.
You don't buy it at a go.
Is this the peacock?
Yes,
or the mohawk? I'm not too far gone.
Yes, so you don't buy everything at a go. You go out, you buy one. You go out, you buy one.
This one also looks very, very nice.
Yes.
Turn it around. Let's have a look. Okay, so it's just basically twisting and turning, and then just taking it all the way back and tucking it under the hair.
Yes.
I don't know why I haven't thought of all these things before, because it looks so easy and effortless, right?
Yeah, it is actually easy. It's not as difficult as people assume.
So then I want to bring in this whole hijabi debate.
Okay.
About acceptance of it in more broader circles, even beyond Islam, accepting it beyond work, even at workplaces. Yeah. So now you're advocating for persons who wear headscarves and head coverings to be accepted in any field of work.
Exactly.
Why has that been such an important journey for the Muslim women in particular?
Okay, so Islam is our identity, and we would love, a lot of us would love to be identified as Muslim. And we also want to propagate this idea that we wearing a scarf does not mean we are not capable in any field that we find ourselves in.
Turn it around, let's see. You're doing some interesting things with that. Turn it around so the cameras can see. Okay, I've seen Maltiti do this a lot.
Okay.
She just 10.
Yes.
And then it just happens.
Yes.
By dozen. But turn it this way. The camera wants to see how you do it. Somebody at home is pulling out her scarf right now, trying her hands on these things. And I am
interested.
I am betting they are writing a few tips on how to do this. So let's get all that, as much of that on camera as we can. People can learn. Okay, so this one has a bit of style in the back and more plain in the front.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. There you go. Matiti, we are learning all your tricks today. So now you have nothing on us. She just moves it around and that happens. So it's very plain in front, but the back is a bit more elaborate.
Yes,
and you're asking that all these things should be allowed into more spaces beyond the Muslim community.
Yes,
and you were explaining to us why that is important to you.
And so, as I was saying, Islam is our identity, and we are more than the scarf we wear. We should, we are as educated as the other people. We are as experienced as the other people. So why then do you have to define us by just a headscarf we have on our head? And we should be allowed to express how we want, as long as it's not insulting to the other person or it's not offending the other person. We should be given the chance to express our religion in the best way possible and still have our careers all together. The hijab doesn't define us, and the hijab also doesn't limit us in any way at all.
So we've miraculously been joined by Cap and by. I just want to ask finally, this conversation about modesty and dressing for women in Islam, should it start, or I'm betting that it starts from the very young age, and that's why we see even younger girls wearing the head covering.
Yes, please.
How far do you want to take this conversation about Islam and fashion for you as a business, for your business, your CEO?
Yes, please. So if I'm getting your question right, how far do I want to? Can you repeat this again?
I want to know where you want to take this business.
Okay.
When it comes to you want to drive an ideology of Islam being fashionable.
Exactly.
How far do you want to take it?
Globally.
You want to take it
globally, of course, beyond the shores of Ghana. Because personally, I love fashion, and I have found a way to, let's say, merge Islam or modesty with fashion. And of course, modesty is fun. It's not boring. It's not one way. It's not, let's say, all black. You can still be colorful and be minimal and still modest. You can be very fashionable and still modest. And I would like to carry this idea, internationally.
Tell us how we can reach you.
Okay, so on Instagram, we are Reigans, that's _REIGANS. On Facebook, we are still Reigans. On Snapchat, we are still Reigans, and on Twitter, we are still Reigans. We are an online store. We have a website, and we have a warehouse at Ofanko.
Okay. Do you do at-home visits?
Okay.
So if somebody is having an event and they want you to move to the venue, are you able to travel?
Yes, please, we do.
Okay, and you offer these services to
please.
Muslim communities only, or even beyond?
Everybody, funny enough, everybody loves turbans now. Everybody, irrespective of your religion, everybody. I know you do love it too.
I do. Especially when my hair doesn't want to
on a bad hair day, actually.
Behave the way
exactly.
I want it to. Thank you for being a part of the staff.
Videos of the various styles. I've seen like 5 already.
Yes, we do. We do have video tutorials. Yes.
My mom was a big turban person in the 70s.
Really? Oh, wow.
Yeah, so anytime I see these turbans, I think of my mom.
Oh.
Yeah. So Kelly, and that's a beautiful, really
Thank you.
So thank you for being a part of our morning, for making this so memorable for us. That style is just banging. And this one has a more subtle.
Exactly.
But modesty is.
You name the styles?
No, actually.
Them.
Thank you. Business tip.
Name them.
I will take that.
Name them.
I will take that. I will take that.
Samira.
Yes, that's true.
Most of the turbans have hair.
Yes, that's true.
This is the Samira.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Thank you.
The Samira.
Thank you.
So this is the
so much
Okay.
So much.
Thank you
guys for being a part of our morning. And thank you to our model as well for making yourself available. And do visit their pages on social media. It's _Reigans, REIGANS. And look for them on Twitter and other platforms so that you patronize their services. They've taught us how to just wrap those turbans in different styles, and so that would be your go-to. You can watch this whole show again at 11 p.m. tonight, or if you just want to catch bits of it, then go on our social media platforms. Facebook is a place to be, Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. We also stream live on Twitter. The GBC Ghana Online is what you should look for on Twitter, and you watch all this all over again. So from all of us here at GTV Breakfast and from all of us at GBC, we wish all our Muslim brothers and sisters.
Call me Sheikh. I feel like a Sheikh.
Beautiful.